It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. The San Juan Broncos cruised past the Cowboys last Friday in Kanab for their second win in a row. Tonight, they're back in Blanding for the first of 2 games on their home turf. Summit Academy's in town looking to upend the defending 2A champions. Live from the San Juan High School football field, it's the Broncos hosting the Bears. Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to San Juan High School. Indeed, it is the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We welcome you in and want to say hello to everybody. It's Rhett Sifford welcoming you in tonight. And we are set to go and joined by Art Adair, as I said. And Art, we were here a couple weeks ago and tried to do this, and it wasn't a real good result. It was we got washed out of here. We were walking through rivers after it was all said and done. It's a completely different night tonight. Absolutely beautiful night here for football.
Yeah, not any clouds in the sky that I can see except for Clover in Colorado. So hopefully we're not in a situation where we were a couple weeks ago. Be a great night for a football game out here, San Juan High.
So we talked about it in the open there. You know, this is San Juan looking for their 3rd win in a row. And as they defeated last week Kanab, a team that wasn't any kind of a pushover. And so the Broncos, with a good win last week, looking to string it together this week with Summit Academy in town. And Art, this is a team they have some history with. In fact, as recent as the state semifinals last year, a game that San Juan won 51-0.
Yeah, a team that, you know, we get a chance to see them every year. And every year, you know, every team's different. Summit Academy has some quality wins this year. I believe they lost to Duchesne as their only loss. Is that correct? You're going to talk about that, I'm sure. But
they've got a couple losses so far, but yeah.
Did they beat Duchesne?
I'm trying to remember. I don't have their schedule right in front of me, and I'm also running into some trouble here. So
yeah, I think they're 2-1 right now, but I'll look that up too. No, just a well-balanced team. Summit Academy's always got some athletes on their team right there in Draper. They always draw in some of those kids that from those bigger schools to come play some private school football there. They've got some good athletes out there. Looks like the JV game was down to the wire. Just a good program that if you sleep on them, they can put one over on you. And a team that's been competitive the last couple of years in the 2A.
So this is a game, a series, I should say, that San Juan leads 11-1 going back to 2013. We did mention the 51-0 win in last year's semifinals. Head coach Justin Wilbur is in his 2nd season and has an 8-7 record right now. He graduated from Lehigh High School and also the University of Utah. His team was picked to finish 3rd in the 2A North. So kind of a mid-range team, if you will, at least from the projections. Of course, we're 3 games in now, and they are 1-2 so far this season. I'll have to look up that schedule, but wanted to talk with Coach Wilbur, but he was actually indisposed. He was taping somebody's cast, I think, so I was able to talk with Coach Lively, who is their offensive coordinator, and here's what he has to say as we get set to go here today, as his team gets set to go against the San Juan Broncos. Coach, unable to talk with the head coach tonight, but next best thing is the offensive coordinator. I know you guys know what you're up against tonight. You guys have some history with this team, especially in the last few years. How do you approach this one here tonight?
It's one play at a time. We got to teach our kids that they've got to be resilient. This is a tough opponent. They know that, and we just want to take it one play at a time and build on each play for success.
Long trip for you guys. Do you think that affects you at all?
Yeah. We came down day of, so we left the school at 7. It is a long day. But hey, no one's feeling sorry for us. Your team has to come up when they come to the Salt Lake Valley. When they came up to Grantsville, they traveled the same distance, and so nobody feels sorry for us. We just deal with it.
You guys are looking to start stringing together some wins. Tell me about this team so far.
Yeah, this team's got a lot of players, a lot of good athletes, good kids. Okay, and we need to build some momentum, and we're looking to build on the win that we had last week. Start to find our identity and build for the rest of the season.
Well, I know you're thinking on an offensive level, being the offensive coordinator. Tell me just all around what you're going to have to do tonight against San Juan to get a victory here tonight.
We're going to have to possess the ball. The offense is your offense is explosive. Okay, so we've got to reduce the possessions, reduce the big plays, and on offense we need to possess the ball and march the field and score when we have the opportunity.
Take advantage of your opportunities, make no mistakes, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right, Coach, thank you for chatting with us. We appreciate it. You guys have a good game tonight. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
And we do want to say thanks to Coach Lively, of course, not the head coach, but the offensive coordinator, and a different name than I saw listed as the offensive coordinator at the beginning of the season. So there may have been some change-ups. And do want to just visit this record for Summit Academy, a loss to Taylorsville week 1, then Skyline, 2 bigger schools. And they weren't really blown out, Art, 23-14 against Taylorsville at home. And then on the road at Skyline, 33-16, 5A schools. Pretty respectable effort there.
Yeah, and both those, Skyline and Taylorsville are pretty much in the bottom of their divisions, but they're both big schools with good players, good skill players and linemen. And so kudos to these guys for going up there and playing them and coming away with 2 losses. And then they go and beat Duchesne, like Coach alluded to, the last week game.
Yep. And
Duchesne, obviously, a 1A program under a new head coach now that Cowan's over at Hurricane. So who knows what offense and how they're running. And sometimes it takes a new system to get into place to get going. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team Summit Academy is. You can't really say off their preseason schedule good or bad either way, because the 3 teams they played you don't really have a good feel for. Where with San Juan we've played, you know who they played and where they're at. So this is anybody's game. You're going to have to show up to play and win. And I think that San Juan's excited, especially you talked about Kanab last week. Just they're rolling.
Yeah, they are. And we'll talk with Coach Christensen here in just a little bit as we talk to the Broncos. But just taking a look at this Bears squad, and the quarterback, Cash Whitman, is a senior, and he is 38 of 77 passing on the year. So that's just over 49% for him. 459 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Not a huge passing attack. One main running back, Bronson Dixon, is most likely their best player. 48 carries for him, 274 yards this year. He does have 3 rushing touchdowns. Calvin Lyman is the only other man who's got a touchdown. 15 carries for him, 73 yards, Among the receivers, it's Kyle Lively. We'll probably be calling his name tonight. 17 catches, 242 of those 459 yards. Actually, they have 460 yards total passing with a backup QB, but 3 touchdown receptions for Lively. I'm guessing he's the offensive coordinator's son. So I knew I'd seen his name. Bo Edmonds, 9 catches, 66 yards, and a TD. Brayson Martin gets into the mix. He's got 2 catches, 53 yards. Bronson Dixon, 5 catches, 33 yards. So that's just taking a look at the top 4 guys. On the defensive side, Alexander Meredith has 28 tackles to lead the team. Aiden Matagi, 23. Benjamin Fitzsimanu, 20 tackles, Tug Wilbur, that's a good name, 19 tackles, and Becca Meredith has 16. Got some guys who have sacked the quarterback this season. Tug Wilbur has 2 sacks. Becca Meredith and Aiden Matagi with 1 apiece, and a couple of interceptions, 1 each for Benjamin Fitzsimanu and Jaden Cumby, who we didn't mention in the tackles list. So that's just kind of a brief look at some of the stats. And Art, stats don't tell the story, but sometimes it can be a little good indication, especially as we start to get into the season.
Yeah, and in the offensive coordinator coach's pregame interview, he talked about they want to control the ball, and that's kind of what everyone wants to do in high school football is you want to come out, you want to control it, you want to control the situations. But San Juan's going to see out of Summit Academy kind of a similar attack that they like to run. They're going to see a lot of trip formations, a lot of doubles. They do run the ball, but they are just like most other 2-3A schools. They're kind of that spread offense. You're going to see some RPOs out of them. So it's going to be a team that San Juan's more used to seeing on defense when they're running Scout O and just normal offense with them, because they're kind of similar in that way. Where last week, the wing T is not as similar for San Juan. So defensive backs, they need to have a big game tonight for San Juan.
All right, that's a look at the Summit Academy Bears. We're glad you've joined us. It's the pregame show tonight, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Absolutely gorgeous night here in Blanding as the shadows start to creep onto the field now. We've still got a few minutes left in the warm-up period, and then we'll be set for the opening kick here tonight in the San Juan Broncos' 4th game of the season, looking to move to 3-1 on the year after suffering that season-opening loss to Grantsville. We'll take a quick break. We'll return here to the pregame show, and we'll switch gears and talk about the hometown San Juan Broncos. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural health care, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding, Utah. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Pregame show here tonight. Rhett Sifford alongside Adair Art. I'm trying to say Adair, Art next to me here.
That's right.
We're going to talk about the San Juan Broncos now. And obviously, Art, after the Game 1 loss, this Bronco team, I don't know how you can describe it. I think there's a lot of things that went on. I think they were embarrassed. I think they were disappointed. I think they were angry. And I think in these last couple games, we've really seen them get back into their rhythm. And like we've talked about with Coach Christensen last week, and I do it here again in the pregame interview, they've kind of starting to start looking like themselves again. The
best thing about a loss is it makes you refocus yourself. It makes you come back and prioritize the things that you need to get better at. Sometimes you get big win streaks, you don't lose games for a while, and you kind of rest on your laurels and think, we're expected to go out and win, so we're just going to go out and win, and your focus isn't there. And I think that's what we've seen the last 2 weeks after that loss is we've seen a lot of players individually and collectively as a team refocus their abilities and their skill sets and really produce more on the field. And I think that's the best thing about a loss. You hate to have them, but sometimes they're needed to refocus your energy.
Well, the Broncos have strung together a couple wins after losing that 37-game winning streak, and you know, they can obviously put that behind them now, the loss to Grantsville week 1, but then victories in a rain-shortened game over Juan Diego. And that was actually rain/lightning shortened, but I think we saw what we needed to see in that game. It may have been a little bit of a shootout there in the fourth quarter, but I think the Broncos were going to be able to keep distance on Juan Diego. And then they had a great game against Kanab last week and putting down a pretty good team on their home turf. And so the Broncos will look to continue that momentum again here today on their own turf. We did, like I said, get a chance to talk with San Juan Broncos head coach Barkley Christensen just a little bit ago. He didn't have a lot to say today, but here's what he has to say as they get ready to go.
Coach, we talked about it last week after the game. You guys are really starting to look like yourselves again.
Yeah, I think so, but every week is a new challenge, and you got to just, last week doesn't matter anymore. It's like our mantra, never satisfied. Previous state championships don't matter. You're only as good as your last game, so we got to bring it again tonight.
Well, you talk about the challenge this week. You guys have a history with these guys, obviously, as recently as the semifinals last year. Different teams, both of you this year. How are you going to approach them here tonight?
Same as we have in the past. They run a lot of the same stuff, and we just got to worry about what we're doing. We got to just keep bringing that same energy and passion, and we'll be all right.
What was it that you guys looked at practice this week?
Big thing is just matching up against what Summit Academy does. We got to be, in our pass game, we've got to be better one-on-ones because they'll give us a lot of opportunities for man-to-man defense. So receivers got to, run routes to beat men, and then just keep our run game going like it has been. And nothing new, just sharpening up on kind of our mistakes from film last week.
Is there anybody who you're keying on specifically for their team?
No, not necessarily. we got to stop the run, of course. That's always priority number one. They've got some good receivers. They can throw the ball around, but at the end of the day, we got to stop the run. I know the running back's probably their best player, and if you stop the run against most teams, you're going to be all right.
You guys excited for this one tonight?
Oh yeah, pumped. But it's a big one tonight. Finally we get another two-way opponent, big home game. So, yep, always excited. Anytime there's a game, we're pumped up.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Look forward to talking with you after. Thanks, man.
Oh, man, appreciate it. Thank you.
And we do want to say thanks to Coach Christensen for chatting with us before the game as the team makes their dramatic entrance onto the field, their traditional entrance sporting the American flags. And so they are getting set for the national anthem here tonight. And I think what we're going to do is we'll try to get some stats in maybe right before the start of the ball game. We'll take a quick break and we'll return here for the opening kick. Stay with us. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Here at Lyle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lyle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
Welcome back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Technically hanging on to the pregame show here now, but the national anthem in the books. Coin toss is next, and Art, we're going to continue talking about this Broncos team, and starting with the senior quarterback Jayton Knight, who's starting to come into his own now. The completion rating, or the completion rate above 50%, up to 54%. He's got 728 passing yards on the season, 46 of 85 with the 5 touchdowns. He has kind of struggled a little bit in the interception department. He has 6 interceptions here in the early part of the season.
Yeah, anytime you throw the ball as much as San Juan wants to, you're gonna see that a little bit here and there. So not surprised at that. I'm just more impressed with how he's bounced back after each time, and he's come out and showed that he's a gamer.
So then the guys he's throwing to, Branton Bethea has 12 catches, 263 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Owen Adams is the second leading receiver, 9 catches, 2 touchdowns on the year. And then a guy who came back from injury last week and look forward to seeing him the rest of the season, Jake Ivins, the senior, has 8 catches now. He's above 100 yards, 118 after that Kanab game last week. He had a big 80-yard catch last week, so that obviously goes well for the stats. Trip Palmer had a great game last week, of course, one of our co-players of the game. And 4 catches, 74 yards for him on the season. Javen Montella has 5 catches, 58 yards. And let's see. the running backs now. J.D. Palmer, 20 carries, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jagger Neves has 27 carries on the season, 149 yards, and 3 TDs. And the quarterback, Jayton Knight, also 27 carries, 123 yards for him, and 3 TDs. So these are the guys offensively you look to get it done here today. Defensively for San Juan, J.D. Palmer, also one of our co-players of the game last week, was very strong defensively, and it shows he's leading the team with 38 tackles. Jagger Neves has 29 on the season. Trip Palmer, 25 coming into this game. Branton Bethea has 22, and Josiah LaPalmer, 17. Art, you know, it's interesting. The Broncos are always getting in the backfield of these opponents, but only 2 sacks on the season, 1 each for Stetson Black and Jagger Neves. And then we look at the miscellaneous defensive stats. 2 interceptions on the year for Trip Palmer, 1 each for Brody Bilbo, Javen Montella, and J.D. Palmer. 2 fumble recoveries for J.D. Palmer as well, and 1 each of those for George McNaughton and Cash Palmer. I think they both got those. Those 2 guys got those last week against Kanab. So, and the Broncos, not surprisingly, are going to be receiving the football here to start us off tonight. The kick is low. It's going to hit at the 15. Fielded on 1 bounce by Javen Montella. He'll fake the reverse handoff. And Summit Academy not very fooled by that. They're going to pin him inside his own 20-yard line. The Broncos will start at the 19 on their opening possession of the night.
It's deception right there is what San Juan wants to do with that wall, and they're faking the reverse. They want to get the kickoff team out of their lanes, out of their responsibilities, and Summit Academy does a fantastic job at staying home, staying true to where they're supposed to be in their lanes, and that's why that play just didn't work for the Broncos.
And, yeah, I think teams have scouted, and they know what the Broncos' trickeration on the kickoffs, and so they may have to start mixing it up a little, and then we're going to get whistles here.
You got a problem with the chains already.
So I was thinking surely there can't be a penalty this early in the game, and mercifully I don't think that's the problem. But San Juan on first down will go to the ground. And it's going to be J.D. Palmer carrying on first down. Did I see a flag come in there? I did. There is a late flag at the point of the tackle.
Yeah, usually that's it's in a face mask, because typically that's a holding call right there by the ump, but it's going to be a face mask on Summit Academy, so that's going to give San Juan a first down here. Unless it's a 5-yard version, so just grabbing, not pulling or tugging, just grabbing the face mask.
So very quickly, the Broncos move the chains, even though the run was only a couple yards, maybe 3 from J.D. Palmer. And so 1st and 10 for the hometown squad. And speaking of Jake Ivins, Jayton Knight throws to him on first down on this second set of downs. And it's going to be a quick 5-yard connection over there on the far side.
San Juan likes to run those quick bubble screens, so they're out, they're wide receivers, and it looks like Summit Academy, they've preached that all week on defense because they close that lane quick.
So the Jayton Knight to Jake Ivins connection works. The Broncos on 2nd and 5. A big hit up in the face of the running back here, J.D. Palmer. He's stood up after a short gain. He'll be close to the line to gain, maybe a couple yards shy, so that was a pickup of 3 more.
And J.D. does a good job there at breaking the first 2 tackles and staying on his feet, but, man, that defense for Summit Academy is flowing.
And to the air again, Jake Ivins makes a catch over on the far side, but Summit Academy is all over him, and the play is going to lose a yard, though it is a completion.
Yeah, the Bears are on attack. They are flowing well to the ball. They are not letting any space happen between the receivers, the rushers. They are getting 2-3 guys over there immediately on the play.
And looks like we're going to get a timeout.
There's a flag over there on the far side.
So I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe against Summit Academy.
Probably going to be a legal shift or a false start. Yep,
okay,
false start on the Broncos.
So that will mark San Juan backwards, and this again is a 4th down play. That was going to be 4th and 1, or 4th and 2, I should say. And now 4th and 7. There's a pass and a catch and a beautiful second effort by Branton Bethea to stretch the ball to the 40, just enough for a first down, an 8-yard pitch and catch, and a great play by the receiver after the catch, Branton Bethea.
Yeah, good way to stretch out there for Branton and pick up those extra yards.
So the Broncos in business with a new set of downs, and they'll go on the ground, and Jayton Knight himself takes it across midfield inside the Summit Academy 40.
Little option there by Jayton. He saw the green grass, and like we've talked about, his decision-making has been a lot more crisp the last 2 weeks, and he just went to the races.
23-yard run for the senior quarterback. And now whistles as San Juan tries to snap the ball.
And it's official again, and he's worried about the chain crew over there, but you really just need the down marker set before you can snap the ball. The first down marker doesn't, the 10-yard markers don't really need to be set at that time. Just the down marker needs to be set. So I'm not sure why he stops that play. Hurt San Juan because they had momentum.
Yeah, they had momentum, and plus they began to run their play, so that telegraphed their play a little.
Talking about the Broncos, we better talk about this. Brad Scow, number 50, is out tonight. See him on the sidelines with a brace on his knee. So he's been a key player for the Broncos, and he's out tonight. So we'll have to see who's filling his shoes.
And Jayton Knight takes a snap in the shotgun, throws it over the right side, and it's right through the hands of the intended receiver, Javen Montella, and incomplete. So that'll be 2nd down and 10, the first incompletion of the night for Jayton Knight.
Looks like Kyler Steve is getting the start night 65, but he's listed as a freshman, so I'm not sure if that's right or not, but that's the number out there.
So Knight this time will hand off, and J.D. Palmer is wrapped up right as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Maybe 2 yards on that gain. It'll be 3rd down and 8. So not a whole lot so far in the running game for San Juan. Just fighting for yardage in the middle there. Summit Academy doing a good job defending the run. So big 3rd down play for the Broncos. We know it's 4-down territory. Jayton Knight with the spin move. Man, he would have been off to the races, but he's tripped up. And now a very late flag after Knight would have gotten enough for a 1st down. They're gonna wait to move him here now. Let's see. That play originated from the 31-yard line, and the penalty is on Summit Academy. It was a sideline warning. So let's see. The run will count, and nothing will be tacked on. They are still late to move the chains and the down marker here. That's going to be 10-yard run that time. So Jayton Knight with 33 yards rushing on 2 carries here.
And it looks like Trey Bradford is actually the lineman out there playing left guard for the Broncos sophomore. Trey Bradford getting the start tonight.
And the snap is high, but Jayton Knight fields it. His pass is deflected right at the line and falls incomplete, however. So that'll be a 2nd down and 10. And again, San Juan has the football inside the 30-yard line of Summit Academy here.
Yeah, and that's just a good job by that defensive line to get their hands up in the air and knock that ball down. Because San Juan did have a slot receiver coming across that middle right behind the backers.
And the ball is snapped, and now Jagger Neves takes his first handoff of the night. And again, they give it to him, see if he can get some more production up the middle, but it's the same result, just a 2-yard run.
And we're going to have a Summit Bear that's slow to get up. Number 10 looks like.
And yeah, holding one of his legs, it looks like. That is Beckham Roper, the senior, who's down. So with 9:08 to go in this first quarter, the Broncos are the only team that's had the football. It's a 3rd down and a short 9, long 8. The ball spotted at the Summit Academy 25. We're going to take a real quick timeout since there's a timeout on the field. And we'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Welcome back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. As it's going to be 3rd down and 8, I'm calling it here. The ball at the Summit Academy 25. Still scoreless here in this one. 9:08 remaining in the opening quarter. Jayton Knight throws left side complete. And I think that may have been Trip Palmer over there. He's got enough for a 1st down, whoever it is.
0.
That was an 11-yard run. After the catch, it was Branton Bethea. So an 11-yard catch for Bethea, his second catch of the night. And that makes it 1st and 10. The Broncos inside the 15-yard line. And now flags fly as Jayton Knight runs it into the end zone. If it stands, it's a 14-yard touchdown, but it's going to be coming back.
It's like a block in the back by the Broncos will bring that touchdown back.
So that's a tough break. San Juan runs the ball into the end zone for the first time today, but never mind about that. And so they'll mark it back outside the 20-yard line, and it'll be 1st down and long. Jayton Knight brings them back to the line of scrimmage. 1st down and around 20, it looks like. They need to get down inside the 5 to move the chains. Knight throws to the flat on the near side. Jagger Neves makes the catch and runs it about 4 yards after the catch, or 5. It'll be a pickup of 5 yards. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be a little bit better spot than I thought. It looks like that's probably about a 7-yard catch for Jagger Neves. That's his first catch of the night. Jayton Knight will take the snap in the shotgun. Was going to run it up the middle, but the hole closed up. More flags fly as he runs it into the end zone again. My guess is it's coming back again.
It's going to be a holding.
So that's back-to-back touchdown runs for Jayton Knight. Maybe 3rd time will be the charm.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a lot of touchdowns taken off the board and a lot of yards for the quarterback from San Juan, but just a lot of little things. Sometimes those linemen get engaged with their defensive counterpart, and the guy turns at the last minute and you're holding on that inside pressure and you don't let go, and the ref looks up, he sees that tug of the jersey, and a lot of times when you're in there with that offensive lineman, that's what you're going to see with those holding calls, is they just don't let go. You can engage with someone and get in there and hold them tight, but when they turn, you got to let them go.
So 2nd down and 20 again, and this time Jayton Knight airs it out to the end zone. Javen Montella dives, makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown San Juan, but more flags.
And that's going to be a pass interference, holding on the defense. He tugged the jersey, so it's a holding on the defense. The touchdown will stand.
And that is a 27-yard touchdown pass, so 3rd time was the charm. And Jayton Knight doesn't get to run it in, but he gets to throw it in, and that was a beautiful ball right out ahead of Javen Montella, who made a beautiful diving effort into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night.
Yeah, just the resilience of this team. 2 touchdowns called back on penalties. You just keep pounding and pounding and doing what works for you, and they put it in the end zone. Trip Palmer's going to be good on a PAT.
So Palmer adds the PAT. I didn't get to record his stats coming into the game. My apologies, but I know he's somewhere up around 80%, and that's where he was pretty much all season last season. And so the Broncos lead it 7-0. Just a minute after we had the injury timeout. There's now 8:09 left in the opening quarter. Broncos draw first blood and lead it in front of the home crowd. 2nd time they've been on their home turf this year, and lead it 7-0. And Art, this is a small miracle, but something we haven't seen when we've been broadcasting together. We're going to have back-to-back home games here. We don't have to. It's like a small miracle.
Yeah, it's nice not to have to travel so far. Just stay home, enjoy a little home cooking.
The Broncos are going to be
crowd.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be playing at home again next week against Judge Memorial, I believe it is.
I've been really impressed with some of the Academy's pressure on their defense, but sometimes you get so much pressure, you kind of miss some things, and that's what you saw in those 3 touchdowns. And San Juan did a good job spreading out the defense, going quad and with empty backfield. Oh, that's almost a live ball.
The kick is booted out of bounds over here on the near side, and let's see what they rule.
He's going to say it went out of bounds before the Broncos recovered. But, yeah, that some of the Academy Bear, he just let it kind of go.
Yeah, that was strange. He was not going to touch it, want to get the illegal procedure, but then it almost stayed in bounds. But I guess
see, now he threw his hat. So when you throw your hat, that's almost an illegal touching call by an official. And so I don't understand why he set the hat on the ground. Because typically you see an official who throws a hat, that means a receiver went out of bounds, came back in, and didn't come back in immediately and then touch the ball. You've got to make your way. So I don't know what the hat was for, other than maybe he just marking the spot.
So 1st and 10 for Summit Academy. First time they'll have the football, starting at their own 28-yard line, 29. And so we're going to get a chance to see this quarterback, Cash Whitman, the senior, for the first time tonight. And he'll work from the shotgun as well with the spread offense. They'll send a man in motion. And Whitman will hand off on first down. Very similar start for the Summit Academy offense as the Broncos employed, and very similar result. It's a short gain for Bronson Dixon, the running back.
Had Jagger Neves in there as well as Stetson Black on the tackle for the Broncos.
And so 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard gain from Bronson Dixon. And so Whitman will continue working from the shotgun. Cash Whitman looking to the sideline for the play over there. One man in the backfield with him, that's Dixon. And he'll hand to Dixon. And again, a very short gain. This time maybe no gain, actually.
Yeah, Jagger and JD were in there quick. I don't think anybody touched Jagger Neves. He just split through that offensive line, and by the time the running back took the ball, Jagger was right there to welcome him to Blanding, Utah.
So, you know, we've heard this is a run-heavy team. I couldn't tell that by the stats. The passing stats are a little bit more than the running stats, but strictly on the ground so far, my guess on 3rd down is they might look to the air here.
Yeah, they got trips to the right, single to the left, and I think they're just trying to suck San Juan in. You'll see some passing here. This is definitely passing down.
Yeah, Whitman will drop back, look to the air, airs it out, and had a man who had a step on the coverage, but it's overthrown and maybe toward the middle of the field, out of the reach of the intended receiver, Kyle Lively, who is their main man among the receivers, and now looks like they're bringing the punt team out on 4th down.
Yeah, and Lively, he's a good 4 inches taller than the cornerback for San Juan, number 20. That's Brody Bilbo. And he had a step on him, but if the quarterback could have just floated that a little more, probably.
Yeah, if that pass was pinpointed, I believe it was 6. So the Broncos will have to watch that Lively kid, it looks like.
And this is one of the first times we've ever seen a true punt this year.
Yeah. It is not a true punt. It's shanked off the foot. It's going to take a Summit Academy roll, mercifully for them, and Dixon will down it across midfield. San Juan's going to have good starting field position here from their own 47-yard line. So a tough punt. They had a chance to really flip the field right there, but the punt was shanked. So not exactly the way they drew it up, and the Broncos will have a good field position here.
We get so used to watching these teams, and San Juan's one of them, who they just have their quarterback pooch kick it, and usually they get 40 yards out of those pooch kicks. And then we see a team that lines up for an actual punt, and, yeah, you probably should have just went for it or had your quarterback punt it.
He'd like a do-over, I think. So it'll be 1st and 10 for San Juan, starting from their own 47 on their 2nd possession. They lead 7-0. 6:41 to go in the opening quarter still. And Knight will hand off to Jagger Neves, who will wrestle his way to 8 yards across midfield into Bear territory. They'll spot the ball just on the Summit Academy side of the 45.
Yeah, and good blocking there by those linemen up front, Palmer and the young Trey Bradford on that run.
And Knight will hand off once again, so they go right back to the ground, and this time Jagger Neves gets the first down. That's going to be about a 10-yard run, it looks like. It depends on where they spot it. They're walking it back a couple yards, so maybe another 8-yard run. So back-to-back 8-yard runs for Jagger Neves, and he's got 18 yards on 3 carries. And this time they'll go to the air as Jagger Neves looks downfield. Jayton Knight looks downfield, and it's Jagger Neves who's form tackled in the backfield. He makes the catch, but he got suplexed for a loss of 3.
Yeah, Zeke Gonzalez for the Bears. That was a great tackle. Really squared him up, drove through his feet through his hips.
And so Jayton Knight is now 8 of 9 passing on the night. But Jagger Neves, with his 2nd catch of the night, goes backwards 3 here. The Broncos will go right back to the ground, and suddenly after a 4-yard run from Jagger Neves, it's going to be 3rd down and 7.
And if you're watching our stream, yes, the score is 7-0 for the Broncos. We'll get that fixed here shortly.
I guess, well, both of them start with a B. So here's Javen Montella making a catch and kind of backed off the hit there as he got in the crowd, and he's able to stretch it forward for a couple yards, but not much more than that. So Javen Montella with a couple-yard catch. And the Broncos moving it slowly, but they do face a 4th down now and about 4 yards to go.
The defensive end here on this side for the Bears, he's got a big old cast on that hand. You said that the head coach was down taping somebody up. That must have been who he was taping, because he looks like he has a big old mitten on that left paw, but he must be able to play with it pretty effectively because he's still out there.
There you go. And Looks like the Broncos want to discuss it, so they'll call a timeout with 4:50 left in the opening quarter. Leading 7-0, a big fourth down play coming up right here. It's 4th down and 4, and we didn't see this a lot last year. They just want to talk it over right here, make the right play on 4th down. It's obviously 4-down territory this deep in Summit Academy territory.
Well, and you get, the old saying, you can't take them home with you, so use your timeouts. And good timeout here. You definitely want to pick this 4th down up. Summit Academies, they've had a couple plays where they could have went to the house, so you can't take them for granted. The JV game, we saw the same thing happen. They're explosive at times, and they'll find your weakness, so you got to go and score. And San Juan goes empty set to stretch the D.
And Jayton Knight has a little bit of time, throws over the middle, complete, and it'll be a 1st down to Jake Ivins. That's a pickup of 10 yards or more, 12-yard catch for Jake Ivins, and a beautiful conversion for San Juan.
Yeah, and he's a stud across the middle. He'll go across there, and he'll snag that ball. He don't even care who's around him. He's a tough competitor.
And Knight hands off to Neves, and Neves breaks free to the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan.
And it almost looked like there was a missed face mask there, but we won't say anything about that because he got in the end zone.
And that was a 18-yard run for Jagger Neves, his first touchdown run of the night. An 18-yarder as he broke free up the middle. 41 yards rushing now for the junior. And let's see, let me get these stats out here for Jagger Neves. That's his 4th rushing touchdown as Trip Palmer puts the PAT right through the uprights. For Javen Montella, by the way, it was his first touchdown catch of the season for the first touchdown. And after the Trip Palmer PAT here, the Broncos lead it 14-0. We got 4:35 left in the opening quarter. We'll take a real quick break and return to San Juan High School. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Back live to San Juan High School as the Broncos kick the ball off after scoring their 2nd touchdown of the night. They lead it 14-0, but now Summit Academy is going to break a return, I should say, and it's number 7 on the return. And let's see who that is. I don't have him listed on my sheet, but we do have him in the Alexander Meredith. I've listed him. He's a senior. He's a defensive man for sure in the secondary, but he gets a big return right here and puts Summit Academy in business in San Juan territory.
Number 7's running it back, and it took number 7, the kicker, Jayton Knight, to slow him down and make the tackle to stop him, or he was gone.
Yeah, whenever you get to that last line of defense, it's trouble, and Jayton Knight was there to make the play. So
he's not your typical kicker.
He's not.
Jayton's a heck of a defensive player, so you got all the confidence for him to stop that.
But Summit Academy has a little bit of momentum here after going down 14-0. They'll have the ball in San Juan territory as Whitman throws low, incomplete. So a couple mistakes now by Whitman, resulting in back-to-back incompletions.
Yeah, he just didn't square his hips and plant his feet enough on that throw, and there's a lot to that when you're throwing across the field. You got to have more arm strength on those throws, and that's a hard throw to make, and he just didn't get his hips into that throw, and it falls to the feet of his intended receiver. But his receiver was open.
He was open in the near flat over here, but it'll be 2nd down and 10 following the incompletion. Ball is at the San Juan 42. Summit Academy with the football, down by 2 touchdowns. Whitman working from the shotgun as he has for the entirety so far. And this time the Broncos get into the backfield to bring down Dixon. It's J.D. Palmer. J.D. Power and Associates getting back there to make the stop. And it'll be a 3rd down and 10 as they give him no gain on that run.
Coach Barron's doing a good job with this disguising and setting up his blitz packages, because the couple of times he's run those to Jagger or J.D. blitzing in there, they have not been touched. They've been unaccounted for on the offensive line, and they've been having success. So it's one thing some of the academies have to look at is how do they account for that blitz and how do they pick that up.
Big 3rd down play for Summit Academy, although I'd say maybe 4 down territory here on the San Juan side of midfield. Dixon's going to take the handoff again. They pull all the big hog mollies to run in front of him, and it gets a few yards, but not much more, maybe 5 on the carry here on the left side.
Yeah, Jayton Knight able to run him down and stops him, so now we go to 4th down, and definitely a position where you're on your opponent's side of the 50, you're going to go for this. You've got to pick up about 5 yards.
Yeah, that moves them inside the San Juan 40 to the 37.5. Broncos looking for a big stop and a turnover on downs right here. Summit Academy to the line of scrimmage. It's a 4th down and 5 from the San Juan 37.
If you're San Juan, you're playing that first down yard or for the pass.
Whitman runs into a wall over there, throws high, incomplete, but there is a flag over there. Josiah Palmer was in the vicinity.
They're going to call holding on San Juan.
And so this is going to be a defensive holding on the receiver that will give Summit Academy a first down. And so they will move the chains for the first time tonight. It's by penalty, and this will put the ball, I think, inside the San Juan 30 here. Pass was incomplete. I don't think that counts, though, in the stats. And so, yeah, they will move the ball down to the San Juan 27. And a new set of downs for Summit Academy, who have the momentum now. Just under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. It's 14-0 San Juan. Summit Academy's Whitman takes the snap. Oh, he throws an incompletion as Trip Palmer undercuts the pattern again, and he'll go untouched to the end zone. It is a 70-yard touchdown return.
Back-to-back weeks, he gets a pick 6.
Unbelievable, man. He stepped in there and just anticipated that pass to the flat, snagged it out of the air as if he was a receiver, and went completely untouched to the house.
Oh, that ball was thrown perfectly to him. He read that the whole way. There was no way that he wasn't catching that ball, and then he gets those long legs out there, and he just
took about 5 steps to get to the end zone.
Those big strides.
Wowzers.
Yeah, what a pick.
Yeah, that was pretty. That's the way you see it on Sports Center. And for Tripp, he's going to see if he can gather himself here and breathe a little bit and account for all 7 of these points. As he's the PAT man, the kick is up, and it is through, so make it 21-0. Tripp Palmer with his 3rd interception of the season and 2nd pick 6 in as many weeks, and the Broncos are suddenly up by 3 touchdowns. And boy, you talk about wrestling the momentum away right there. Summit Academy had a new set of downs, knocking on the red zone for San Juan, and that really reverses it right there. What a play.
And I do a bad job here at keeping my stats over in my stat sheet, but I had that as Summit Academy's first down of the game off the penalty. So you get your first down, and then you go right back and throw a pick 6. Quarterback's got to be over there just wondering, hey, I obviously didn't see that field. Now, I don't know how you miss Tripp Palmer because he's a big, tall, 6'4" kid, and that ball came right to him.
Well, he came up. I mean, he was kind of 5 yards off the ball, and as the ball was thrown, he ran to it. And so he appeared out of nowhere from the quarterback's perspective for sure.
I guarantee that quarterback, where'd that guy come from?
Yeah,
it's like that Tom Cruise in Top Gun. You know, where'd who go?
Yes, sir. It's 21-0 San Juan. Still 2:45 to go in the first quarter, and all of a sudden it's San Juan's got all the momentum for sure. They struggle on the kickoff a little bit here as this ball goes out of bounds on the far side. Flags fly, of course, and that'll be the illegal procedure that'll give Summit Academy the football at the 35, I think. Still not 100% clear on the rules because last time they did. It's just where it goes out. Okay. All right, so the ball.
No, it's at the 35.
Well, yeah, that's what I kind of thought. I mean, they'll spot it at the 35. So 1st and 10 for the Bears, 35-yard line. And, of course, Whitman immediately back out on the field after throwing the incompletion is going to try to gather it up here. He is 0 of 3 on the night. And he'll work from the shotgun, and guess what? They go to the ground on 1st down. And, boy, the Broncos are right there to tackle Bronson Dixon for no gain.
Yeah, you got J.D. Palmer coming up there on a blitz, and he just blasts right off this right side. again, untouched. They just haven't had an answer for those backers when they step up. Now, Coach Byron likes to run that 3-5 defense, and it can confuse those offensive linemen sometimes on their assignments. You've got to really be, looking at, okay, where are we going? Where's the gap I need to get to? And sometimes you'll get a triple team on one guy and leaves the backer wide open because you don't know which backer's coming out of the 4.
Yeah, we'll see if Summit Academy can mix it up enough to fool this defense, but right now San Juan is holding them at bay. This pass thrown behind the receiver, Lively. He spins to make the catch, but he's going to end up being caught from behind by Jake Ivins, and he'll lose a yard on the catch.
And Jake looks healthy. He looks explosive. He looks excited out there. Comes up, big old scream. I mean, not having him was really hard on the Broncos that second week because that guy's a gamer. I know they won the game, but, man, Jake he can turn the tide defensively and offensively. He's a double threat.
And they've pinned Summit Academy to another 3rd down here, and a big one on their own side of midfield here, still at their own 35. And so a huge 3rd down here for Summit Academy, already down 3 scores in this first quarter. And we'll see what Cash Whitman can muster here for his team. They're going to roll him out to the right. He's a left-handed thrower, so he throws against his body here, and it's incomplete on the far side, out of bounds. That'll be 4th and 10.
And you'll see the punt team come on here now for Summit Academy. Even though down 3 scores, you don't want to give, and hopefully you get a better punt out of this one you did last time. You'd like to pin the Broncos back deep and make them go the length of the field.
Boy, I tell you, they're struggling definitely. I mean, in both facets of the game. Right now I've got them for 7 yards of total offense. So the San Juan defense right now is smoking them.
And the defense looks like they're going to come try to block this. So.
And the snap is high. They do get in there. Don't make any contact. This time it's a better punt, and it's going to be fair caught at the San Juan 33-yard line by Branton Bethay, I believe. Yes, and so San Juan will start just outside their own 30. Looking to make this a 4-score lead here. Still 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. We're glad you've joined us. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Bradford Tire tonight at the center of it all at 39 East Center in Blanding. Colleen Kays, author of The 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power, and Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. As Jayton Knight takes the snap and runs it himself off left guard and very quickly rattles off 6 yards, maybe even 7.
Yeah, Cutler Baker out there, the center out there blocking downfield, doing a great job. That line has really been really crisp tonight for the most part. They've really opened some holes up.
That is 40 yards rushing now for Jayton Knight on just 3 carries. Now he throws to the flat. We're going to get a receiver pass as Javen Montella is open downfield. The pass was slightly underthrown from Jagger Neves, who's the backup varsity quarterback, but it still gashes the Summit Academy D.
Little halfback pass action going on there. You suck the defense up, and old Montella just runs by his guy. And Jagger able to just plant and put some air underneath that thing. A little bit, if he'd thrown a little bit quicker, maybe Montella's trotting in the end zone.
That is a 52-yard pass, and now Jayton Knight takes it right up the middle himself. I'll get to that in a minute. So I got to give Jagger Neves the pass stat on that. 52-yard pass and a 52-yard catch for Montella, who has made 2 big catches. Jayton Knight runs it for 7 yards on first down, and now hands off for a short gain.
San Juan tries to pull their left guard and tackle over to block out make that hole, and just kind of closes up before JD can get there, so doesn't get much momentum going there.
So Palmer carried for a yard just then. He's got 9 yards on 4 carries, and that's the end of the first quarter. The San Juan Broncos up 21-0 in front of their home crowd. We'll send it away for a quick break, and we'll return to San Juan High School. 21-0 Broncos over the Summit Academy Bears heading into the second quarter. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand Counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing and Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as we get set to start the second quarter. It'll be San Juan 3rd down and 1. All the way down inside the Summit Academy 10, though. They're at about the 8 as Knight hands off to Neves, and I think Neves will get enough. It's a short gain here, but they only needed 1.
If you're looking at the far sideline, Judge, it looks like he's got it.
Yeah, I think they may have given him 2 on the carry here. I was looking at the near side guy, but, well, it may even be more than 2. Looks like it's going to be, yeah, it was a couple-yard pickup, so Neves gives him plenty. 1st and goal, San Juan. And Knight will drop back to pass on 1st and goal. Throws complete. Only down to the 5, though, to Jake Ivins. So maybe a couple-yard, 1-yard catch here.
Yeah, Summit Academy did a great job that time. Number 5, Jaden Cumber. He was all over Jake from State Farm Ivins there.
So Jayton Knight, I'm trying to think what was the run, Neves on the run. 2-yard run for him to start the quarter.
Here we go.
And now
Jagger
into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan. Jagger Neves on the 5-yard run. And San Juan has scored their 4th touchdown of the night.
And just a little help here from our good friend Travis Black, who coached basketball down here for a long time. He says that we ought to call Jagger with the dagger. So there we go. We got another couple nicknames here. We're going Jagger with the dagger.
So we got J.D. Palmer and Associates, Jagger with the dagger.
Oh, he's got more on here. He's got Jake the Flex Ivins, Trip, Rip and Pick Palmer.
Well, I think I prefer
Jayton Lights Out Night. I mean, I think Travis is sitting there having a good time coming up with nicknames. We might have to get him up here in the booth to do some, some commentating on nicknames.
Hey, Neves' 2nd touchdown run of the night. I think I gotta prefer Coach Christensen's nickname for Neves, though. You remember last week, Quadzilla.
Quadzilla.
I think that one takes it to me. Quadzilla's a good one. But we've got a Summit Academy player slow to get up here down on the goal line, but the Broncos lead it 27-0, 11-17 still left in the first quarter. While we've got this injury timeout, we will pause ourselves, send it to commercial. We'll return to San Juan High School again. The Broncos now up by 4 touchdowns. Still early in this one, 11-17 left in the first half. Stay with us, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Utah is our home, unique in its strengths and struggles. And sadly, suicide in Utah is one of our greatest challenges. So people across the state are coming together to answer the call, to change our culture around suicide and mental health, to give hope and provide genuine help. Together, we can get through, lift up, look ahead, and live on. Learn how you can reach out at liveonutah.org.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies, not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Desert Rivers Credit Union is proud to team up with the communities in our corner of the state. A nationwide network of ATMs and branches, full line of mortgage products, local decision making, low fees, and great rates for every credit score are just a few of the things we bring to the team. And to top it off, we are for people, not profit. Come by and meet our team at one of our 4 branch locations or visit DesertRiverCU.com. We love our communities and are proud to support our youth.
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
TaylorMade Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality, beautiful, and long-lasting custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. TaylorMade Monuments designs custom monuments and headstones crafted with care and artistry to honor your loved ones for generations. TaylorMade is family-owned and operated and offers competitive pricing. Call them today for a free quote. 435-678-2523. TaylorMade Wooden Heritage and TaylorMade Monuments, proud sponsors of San Juan High School sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Back live to San Juan High School. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. And 11:17 to go in the first half. Still an injury timeout here tonight. San Juan Broncos have just scored to make it 27-0. Still awaiting the PAT play, but Summit Academy has an injured man down on the field. I know they're working on his shoulder or something in that vicinity. We're brought to you tonight in part by Crowley Construction, dirt roads, driveways, and more. For any job, big or small, call Crowley Construction. Dependable auto repair, Brad Stoddard and his crew get the job done. Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. Also tonight, Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Napa Motor Parts, get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality, customized products. Primary Residential Mortgage, with over 30 years of know-how, they'll structure the best deal for you. And San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. A big thanks to all the sponsors who make the broadcast possible. While we're waiting this injury resolution here, we do have some scores to pass along. I know some of you are wondering about the San Juan girls volleyball team, and they swept Duchesne tonight. So 3-0 win, and boy, that's becoming the mantra for them. They are still entirely undefeated. They have not lost a single set this season. They're now 8-0 on the year. So congratulations to them. I don't want to jinx them or anything, but that's a pretty good little streak.
Knock on wood, Rhett, because you've said that a few times on the air.
Hey, and it's worked out so far. We got pressed wood here. We don't have actual wood. I can knock on this.
And it looks like it was number 30 out there that was down for the Bears, and that it's going to be Zeke Gonzalez. It looks like his shoulder was out because just watching Dr. Jepson and some other the precision rehab down there.
Speaking of,
they were pulling that arm back into place, and that hurts. So
yeah, it makes my ankle hurt. Just watching that, and
then he walked off on his own power. I'm pretty positive that he just got his shoulder out of socket, and they reset it real quick for him.
Well, speaking of, thanks to our sponsors are down there on the field playing a part in this game, helping Summit Academy's guys out there. Trip Palmer had a lot of time to think about it, and he boots the ball right through the upright. So he is a perfect 4 of 4 on the night, and the Broncos are now up 28-0 with 11:17 remaining in the half. So, boy, Art, I don't know if this is what I personally expected a little bit closer contest here tonight. Maybe I'm off in left field, but I expected Summit Academy to bring something tonight. But the Broncos have made zero mistakes, really. They have just taken it to them here in this first quarter and a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. You never know what to expect. I know that I got a text earlier today during the JV game from my cousin that lives up north in Draper, and he told me it was going to be a blowout for San Juan. And I kind of think that he follows football up there pretty religiously, and so he must have known something that we didn't know. Well, I mean, it's a long game still.
It is a long game.
A lot of time on the clock,
It
and
is
a lot
a
of things
long
can
game,
happen.
Yeah, and obviously if the Broncos get in a position like they did last week to get that running clock started, and if that begins as the second half begins, that obviously goes a long way to closing things down. But we'll see. Right now, Summit Academy has shown no indication they can challenge these Broncos. That kickoff died inside the 5, and now Summit Academy is going to have to return it. They get out near the 20, but there is a flag on the field.
Well, this should be a holding here.
And we got a Bronco limping off the field as well.
Flag down on the play.
So this is probably going to come back half the distance or back to the 10, I would say.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding.
And so this is going to make it even tougher for Summit Academy.
Yeah, I think it was on this outside gunner here of San Juan's. He was coming down the field, and the Summit Academy Bear grabbed onto him and just kind of tackled him onto the ground, and that's a holding.
There you go. I just want to say thanks to you, Art, here. We're enjoying nice, beautiful, comfortable chairs here in the booth for the first time in a long time. They even have our names on the back. Thanks to you, Art. I appreciate it. It says Sifford right on the back of my chair. I really appreciate that.
I aim to please the talent, you know. I know that
That's why you got yourself a chair.
Caleb's over there a little jealous. Now I got to round him up one.
There you go. All right, 1st and 10 for Summit Academy. From their own 10, they'll go back to the ground for a 3-yard gain up the middle. It looked like coming up from the pile that time is number 25, if I'm not incorrect, on the running back position there.
You are correct.
And let me check that name on the roster. This is a new man in to run the ball, Calvin Lyman, the senior, 5'9" senior. So I got to get him on my sheet. That's the first time it's been somebody other than Bronson Dixon. And Summit Academy will go right back to the ground. This time they sweep him to the left side, and man, the Broncos, good penetration, and they'll stop him for a loss.
Yeah, Jagger and Jake over there, the two J's, JJ out there making the tackle, and they're those two play with a lot of passion and fire, man. Some kids just go out there and they do their job and they play hard, but those two play with fire.
And yeah, it's a big deal for San Juan, who now forced Summit Academy into yet another 3rd down. And this one is just shy of the 15-yard line. So 3rd down from the 14 for Summit Academy. They need 7 yards. Clock is running. We're just now under 10 minutes to go in the first half. And a 28-0 lead for San Juan. And taking the snap in the shotgun is Whitman. Throws over the middle, and there's an entirely wide open man who found a soft spot in the coverage. And that will be the Bears' first legitimate first down of the night, as they convert nicely up to the 30. So that's a 16-yard pass, far and away their longest play of the night.
Yeah, good recognition there by the receiver to find the open space, sit down in it, and just wait for your quarterback to throw you the ball. That's what happens sometimes when you're in a zone of defense. You leave gaps in the field, and quarterback and receiver that are in sync can find those gaps and really hurt you.
And a couple of different personnel changes here. That was Bo Edmonds' first catch of the night. Until then, Whitman had been relentlessly trying to go to Kyle Lively, and it hadn't worked out. Now it's Bronson Dixon back in the game, and he'll take the handoff in the backfield, but he's going to lose a couple on this run to the far side. And so they're just going backwards in the running game. And that makes it just 6 yards net for Bronson Dixon now in the game on 6 carries. So that really is a testament to this Bronco defense, man. They're just standing them up at the line.
Well, you've got you've got a big guy up front in Baker, and then you've got 2 quick, fast ends out there. And then 4 speedy linebackers are just flying over all over the field.
And Whitman will work from the shotgun here. He hands off up the middle, faked the pass, but look at this tackle right at the line of scrimmage on Dixon again. And that will be a 2-yard gain, I believe, by Dixon, but it'll be a big 3rd down and 9. So he gets those 2 yards he lost back. But again, a big third down right here for Summit Academy. They're second in a row. They'll try to convert for the second time in a row on this possession. And the Broncos have just been dominating here so far tonight, offensively and defensively. And they'll spread it out. Sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
There's just 3 guys to the near side. And Whitman will throw to the left side, though. Goes back to his original receiver in Lively. That's their leading receiver, and he's right at the line to gain. Looks like he's going to get enough. So that's a 9-yard gain on a nice little pitch and catch from Whitman to Lively. And now they're moving the chains a little bit here. That's back-to-back third down conversions.
Yeah, and you saw what I was going to say is you saw Coach Bowering bring Jake up to the line there. He had a 4-man front, and Summit Academy did a good job in their pass protection of picking that up.
Cash Whitman now 3 of 7 on the night for just 24 yards. His 2 biggest passes of the night have been these 2 back-to-back receptions. So Whitman starting to gather a little bit of momentum here. They'll hand off, and this time a nice gain, and the referee gets swashbuckled in the middle of the field there as he got nailed by Bronson Dixon, the running back, who ran it for 9 yards right up the middle.
And that official is going to get some compensation after this game because he took a big hit in the JV game that put him down for a minute or 2, and then he gets hit again. But
hazard pay?
That's the life of an umpire right there.
Yeah,
this is why the NFL moved them out of that position, back to the behind the running back with the official for these kind of conflicts.
There you go. Yeah, that's ugly in the NFL for sure. You don't ever want to see those guys.
And that's Big Cash Palmer in there at nose tackle. I misspoke earlier. They've been rotating, but that's Big Cash Palmer in there. He's done a fantastic job of taking on the double teams.
So you're saying that's Big Cash in there in the
Big
middle.
Cash,
That's
yep.
Big Cash money. All right, so on second down, they're going to convert here on second down. So they didn't waste any time, didn't let it get to third down this time. And once again, carrying is Calvin Lyman. So they're starting to mix up the duties a little bit here in the running game. And so that's 5 yards on 3 carries for Lyman. They move the chains here on first down as they've got the ball now into San Juan territory and only just 48-yard line. But a new set of downs, more importantly. And Summit Academy's on the move a little bit here. It's slow and steady, but they're moving it down the field here. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half, a 28-0 lead for San Juan. And they'll hand off once again to Lyman. No, they don't. They faked it to Lyman. Whitman throws it downfield and overthrown, intended for Lively on the far sideline. He was covered fairly tightly over there.
Brody Bilbo on the coverage.
And that incompletion makes it 2nd and 10.
And like we said earlier, Brody, step for step in the coverage, but Brody's given up about 4 to 5 inches of height out there. So you've got to do everything you can and just get in his hip pocket. And luckily, the ball's a little too long, but good coverage by Brody.
And he's getting some coaching over here now after that play as he stepped off to take a little breather here for one play after running the full length of the field, basically. So 2nd down and 10 for Summit Academy. On the move a little bit here on this possession. They really need a score. Down 28-0, 6:39 to go in the opening half. Clock is stopped after the incompletion. And it's Cash Whitman handing off this time. Oh, and some good second effort that time by the running back, who was Calvin Lyman, and he's going to pick up 7 right up the middle. But, boy, they had contact in there at the line of scrimmage, but he fought his way for 5 yards after the first touch.
Yeah, he ran through 7 tackles there and just did a great job. Just keep his feet moving, little small steps, keeping your momentum going forward. And San Juan was just arm tackling out there, and he's able to run through those. They should have had him at the line of scrimmage on that, but he runs hard.
So 3rd down and short, 3rd and 3 as they move the ball ahead to San Juan's 41. Another big 3rd down, but now they're in 4-down territory as they send Lively in motion. Whitman will hand off, and it's going to be very close as Bronson Dixon gets another opportunity.
4th down and 2 yards.
All right, so
4th and 2.
So they only give him 1 on that carry. His knee must have come down.
Yeah, the first down's at the 38-yard line, and the ball spotted at the 40.
I'm guessing we're going to see Lyman come back in here this time, but we'll see a big 4th down here. Obviously, short yardage to gain. 4th and 2 from the San Juan 40. So the Broncos looking for a big stop here, trying to force a turnover on downs and keep Summit Academy off the board. The Broncos up 28-0. Clock is winding down, near 5 minutes to go in the first half. Cash Whitman, the senior quarterback, drops back, has time, floats it to the left side. Flags fly. It is incomplete, well overthrown. And, boy, he is just having trouble hitting his receivers on these up the sideline patterns. They're getting open, but he's missing them. But the San Juan is going to be whistled for a flag here, so that will give them a free set of downs. So Summit Academy didn't have to work for that. The Broncos give it to them, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the San Juan 30.
Yeah, and unfortunately San Juan gets a little handsy and bails them out there, but you're right. His passes have not been on the mark. He's had some open receivers. He's had some guys with a step or two or even the height advantage, and he's just not able to put that ball on the mark tonight.
Yeah, he's got a nice, pretty throw, but it's been too long at pretty much every occasion or a little bit off the mark. But they get the benefit of the penalty and the new set of downs here. So from the San Juan 30, it's 1st and 10 for the Bears. And Whitman will continue from the shotgun. Hands off to Dixon. And Dixon will get maybe one off left guard.
Runs right into J.D. Palmer.
Yep.
It's not a good place to run into.
Yeah,
he's going
to get tired doing that.
And I don't have Summit Academy for any penalties so far tonight. Am I correct in my stats?
I don't. Yeah, I don't
think they've had one penalty.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Pretty disciplined on their end, both sides of the ball.
Yep. Well, the Broncos haven't given a lot of opportunity. They've just moved it down the field so quickly. Well,
even on the offensive side with false starts or legal formations or holding, typically you're going to see that with a run-heavy offense, and they haven't had it tonight.
Well, it's a 2nd down and still about 10 to go, I would say, maybe 9. As they'll hand to Dixon again and again, right into traffic and a pickup of only 2. So trying to suck that San Juan defense into the middle so that Whitman might be able to find someone open outside for a throw. But it'll be 3rd down and 7 here after a pickup of 2.
I'm just surprised at how quick J.D. Palmer is. He starts clover here on the left side of the line, and he's over there helping make the tackle on the right side. He's just so quick and so nimble to get through those gaps and find his way through the creases. The kid's just a ball dog, He just goes after it.
Yeah. 3rd down, another big 3rd down, but 4-down territory still for Summit Academy. Boy, they take the time off the clock, that's for sure. It's down to 3:40 to go now in this first half. Whitman looking and well overthrows his man again. In fact, the San Juan defender may have been Bilbo over here. No, Javen Montella, I think maybe. I can't.
Yep, 22.
On defense, dove for it. But again, Whitman just having trouble hitting his receivers. That time that man wasn't super open, so he threw it kind of out of bounds. But back-to-back incompletions now for Whitman.
Yeah, that's where you like to see your quarterback tuck that ball and run it, try to pick up some positive yards on 3rd down. Make your 4th down a little more manageable because he's good coverage out there. And I know you want to throw him open to the corner of the end zone, but a lot of times that doesn't happen. So take what the defense gives you, try to get 3-4 yards, make this a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, a little more manageable.
Yeah, Whitman is not a big double threat. He is obviously not a big runner, doesn't have a lot of running stats this year, so that's something you lose in someone who's not like Jayton Knight, who does provide that double threat. Whitman in trouble, and now the ball is thrown into traffic. I wonder if this is going to be a legal receiver downfield here. That ball hit Dixon, the running back, in the back.
The referees are talking about it. What do you call?
Yeah, Whitman was running for his life and just threw into traffic.
Yep.
I think it's going to be waved off, and I think it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, they're still talking about something over there, though.
Both teams are switching personnel here, so they must know something.
Yep, they're going to switch balls out, so.
So, yeah, I think they just waved the flag off here. Really no signal from the referees. They still seem kind of in doubt talking to each other.
They don't know what they're doing. and I know three of these guys. This is a crew out of Price, Utah, and I know 3 of them. They're great guys. They've called a lot of my games back in the days. I didn't agree with a lot of stuff, but they're great guys.
Here's a handoff to J.D. Palmer as San Juan takes over, steps out of a tackle, hurdles another man. Well, if he fell over him, you're not allowed to hurdle a man. I guess unless he's down.
If he's going to tackle your feet, you can step over him.
If he dives, you can fly over him. But that's a very nice 9-yard run from J.D. Palmer right there. And the Broncos have a 2nd and 1. Jayton Knight throws right side, complete, and very quickly the Broncos are going back to work. Look at Jake Ivins weaving his way through.
Horse collar.
And are they going to call that? There's a hat thrown on the ground.
He couldn't get to his flag.
There's a flag back here.
We're going to get a horse collar.
So, first of all, it's a big gain on the pass, and then they're going to tack on some yardage for the penalty. Let's see. Let me count this up, Art. You can talk if you like. They started from their own 37. You can go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see. They've got the call. It's going to be a horse collar tackle. No, it's going to be holding on, and then a personal foul. Face mask they're going to call. So
they'll offset.
It'll offset, and they'll get the yards.
And it's a 23-yard pass.
Nope, they won't. It'll come back.
Oh, my goodness. So they'll replay the down.
Replay the down. And I didn't see the face mask. I saw a horse collar, but they're both personal fouls. So,
all right, so offsetting penalties erases that big 23-yard gain.
First penalty on Summit Academy.
And it won't even count.
Yeah.
We won't even see it other than we replay that the Broncos lose the yardage there. So 2nd down and 1, we'll replay it starting from the 37-yard line for San Juan. 3:04 left in this first half. If they score again right here, they'll be up by 35, which will be enough to trigger the running clock to start the second half. Pump fake for Jayton Knight, and now Branton Bethea goes down as he's tackled before the ball got there. Flags fly here, so that'll be pass interference.
I think they're going to call holding, which is the lighter version of pass interference.
During the he was making a move here at midfield and got held up in the pattern. So he got interfered with twice, I think, there on that pattern.
So a holding call get you 10, a PI get you 15. So
either way, the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs somewhere just on their own side of midfield. Refs are talking it over. We can let you know while we wait for their official ruling that Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight by Bradford Tire at the center of it all at 39 East Center in Blanding. Also tonight, Colleen Kays, author of The 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power.
They did call a holding, so it's first down here, and everybody in the stands over here saw that holding.
Yeah, I could hear all the officials wearing blue and gold over here calling that play. It should be 1st down and 10 now. The ball at the San Juan 47. So San Juan a new set of downs. Just under 3 minutes now to go in the first half. There's that little shuttle pass inside to Jake Ivins this time as he came around from the left slot back over to the right side, and he picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, some good blocking there. That's hard for an offensive lineman to get out and block those. That little shuttle pass happens so quick to get out in space as a lineman and get to your blocks. Kudos to those big guys up front.
That's the first completion for Jayton Knight here in this second quarter because the Broncos haven't had the ball. Now he throws one deep, and it's going to be caught inside position by the receiver for San Juan.
Owen Adams.
Owen Adams gets his first catch of the night, and that's a big one. I'm going to have to see the replay on that. I think they were at their own 47 or thereabouts. Let's see, 10, 20. That's a 30. I'm going to guess about 33-yard pass to Owen Adams. And the Broncos are going to snap it quick. That's why I just have barely any time to write down any stats. They give the ball to J.D. Palmer, and he will push it ahead for a couple yards, maybe 3.
He ran into 3 Bears that were right there. Just a good penetration there by the Bears.
I think the ball is at the 19-yard line, maybe.
Yep, it looks like 19.
So they're going to give him 2 yards on that tough carry. He's got 20 now on 6 carries tonight. He stays in the backfield next to Jayton Knight, and he'll not take the handoff. It's fake to him. Knight tucks it up himself, gets to the sideline, makes a move. He's going to be knocked out of bounds inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal, San Juan.
Yeah, Jayton wanted to throw that ball, and I think we talked about in the pregame, some of his progression throughout this short season so far is just that ability. When it's not there, it's not going to be there. You can't make that up. And so you just got to take that ball, and he jimmies up the sidelines and steps out of bounds.
And that's something we kind of missed in the Grantsville game, but he's developed that in the past couple games, and now 3. This time they hand to J.D. Power and Associates. He powers it down to the 5-yard line for a short gain. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, you talk about the progression of Jayton. He's, in the Grantsville game, we would have seen him try to press that in there, try to fit that ball in there to a receiver, maybe in coverage. And that time he just does the smart thing and takes it up the field and gets first.
Yeah, you could see him progressing through the thought. Now J.D. Power and Associates Speaking of, rumbles right ahead into the end zone. Oh, are they going to give him a touchdown or no?
You're going to get an unsportsmanlike.
Flags on the field.
You're going to get an unsportsmanlike because he drove Jayton into the ground on the sack. He'd already thrown the ball, and the Bears player drove him into the ground. Now, you can tackle the quarterback once he throws it if you're engaged, but what you can't do is drive him into the ground with your shoulder. If you watch the replay on this, you can see him he didn't drive him, but he took him down.
Interesting. So he tackled him after he handed it off to J.D. Palmer. Palmer ran it into the end zone from 5 yards out, so it's a J.D. Palmer touchdown run, his third of the year. And now if Trip Palmer can add the PAT, it's going to be a 35-0 lead for San Juan here in the first half. Really starting to look like what we saw last year now, Art, as the Broncos taking it to Summit Academy very convincingly here in this first half.
Yeah, and going back to that personal foul right there, I don't know if I agree with that. That Summit Academy Bear, he didn't know the ball was out of his hands. He's just making a tackle.
Yep. Well, at any rate, it'll be assessed on the kickoff. It's kind of a moot situation with just a minute to go. Unless Summit Academy can return a touchdown, they're going to be they're not a super explosive. I mean, I know you mentioned they might be explosive, but at least here in this first half against the San Juan varsity team, they haven't found a way to become explosive.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe, obviously, they'll be receiving the kick to start the third quarter. But, I don't know. If you're Summit Academy, I think right now you got to make an effort to prevent the half from starting with a running clock.
Well, I think you've seen some explosive plays, but they haven't connected on those. There's been some opportunities that the Bears have had to stretch the field, to move the ball, even to pick up some big yards and maybe a touchdown or two. But they've been unable to connect the quarterback receiver. And I think that's just, I don't know if that's just coming into Blanding, knowing who San Juan is, knowing you played them last year, they really walloped you. There's a lot of factors that go into that. I'll tell you, I've stood on that opposing sideline before. This is not a fun place to come and play football.
Yeah.
Because you know before you get here what you're in for. And so there's a lot of that goes into that, and that might be what you're seeing a little bit tonight out of the Bears is just they know they're playing the Broncos.
And like you say, chances have been there. I mean, with the running game, it's one thing. If you can break it, you do. But they've had some opportunities passing. I can remember 5 or 6 chances where the quarterback, Whitman, just hasn't been able to connect with guys that he's had who have been open. Now San Juan squib kicks this, and really close to an onside opportunity over there. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it does go out of bounds anyway, right around the 25. So that'll be a legal procedure on San Juan. Maybe just not wanting to give Summit Academy a chance to return that here late in this half. No time off the clock, so still 60 seconds remaining in the half. And the Broncos going to try to get one more stop here to close out this half. If they can do that, the second half will begin under running clock rules. So we saw that a lot last year. And this will be the first time this season that they've achieved that, if in fact they can pull it off here.
And San Juan has Thomas Harden now in at nose tackle. Nope, he's in the game. It looks like, he's going to play the nose tackle. Thomas Harden, a sophomore. Got a lot of good playing time in that JV game. So San Juan starting to rotate through a couple of guys.
1st and 10 for Summit Academy, starting at their own 31-yard line. So again, with this kick going out of bounds, I don't know how that rule works, but Whitman is going to air one out again, and this time it's going to be knocked away by the coverage over on the far side for San Juan. And I think, is that 18 on the coverage for the Broncos? Tyrion Lee, the senior.
Well, I wonder if someone touched that ball going out of bounds.
It may have been.
But they threw a flag.
And so then it's so weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I felt as though on the illegal procedure that the ball went to the 35, and it did last time. So
we'll look for
maybe they waved the flag and another official saw it get touched.
We'll look for our rules czar to cue us in tonight when he comes home and watches the game.
Only thing I can think is maybe it got touched and another referee told him to wave the flag off. This ball is thrown to nobody over the middle. So back-to-back incompletions for Whitman, and he's actually had incompletions now in 5 of his last 5 attempts.
Yeah, San Juan has 6 deep there. They dropped a lot of players back in that defensive coverage there. They had 6 guys back there about 20 yards, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. So they don't want Summit Academy here to throw one deep down. They'll give up anything in front of you, but don't let anything go deep over your head.
Yeah, and the time is maybe not even going to end up being a factor if Summit Academy keeps throwing incomplete, because clock has stopped only 11.3 seconds have gone off the clock since they got the ball. They're going to run it off left tackle this time. And Bronson Dixon rumbles ahead for 9 yards, maybe 8, as they mark it back a yard.
San Juan calls a timeout here with 41.8 seconds left.
Very interesting.
4th and 1.
Very interesting.
Well,
they want to get it back.
As long as we've been doing this, Rhett, we know that their mindset is foot on the gas pedal, aggressive, and they want to go down. If there's 10 seconds left on the clock, they want to score in those 10 seconds.
Well, they're thinking right now that Summit Academy is going to punt the ball from their own 35-yard line here, or 40-yard line on a 4th and short. Would Summit Academy sneak a 4th down try in here?
Well, this is where if you're Summit Academy and you line up for a punt and you have a fake punt in your playbook, you snap it to the up back, try to get 1 yard. This is where you run that. And a lot of teams that run a punt formation, they put that in. I know we used to back in the day. Put that into where you snap it to your up back. You got to gain, he's usually 3 yards off the ball, so you got to gain 4 yards here. You catch the defense on surprise. Maybe they're trying to come through because right now Coach Brown's like, hey, let's stop this. If they punt it, let's get a block so we can get the ball close. And you catch a defense a little too over-aggressive. But that takes a lot of guts here. I think you're going to see him just run the ball and try to burn some clock if they can because unless he squib kicks it.
They're just lining up in the spread, so we'll see. Maybe they're going to try to get San Juan to jump off on 4th down. You go with the hard count for sure.
And they get San Juan to move, but they don't enter the neutral zone, so they're still safe.
And let's see if they actually go ahead and snap it. They do. They're going to go up the middle, and it's going to be stuffed in the backfield. Jagger Neves was there along with J.D. Palmer and Jake Ivins. And what a huge stop for San Juan. It's a loss of yardage on the run from Dixon. And the Broncos force the turnover on downs. So that about seals it as far as the running clock situation.
Well, and
the Broncos are going to try to add more right here.
This is the bad thing if you're the Bears.
Yep.
You just gave San Juan, how many timeouts they still got? Has San Juan called
2,
1 timeout?
I think they have 2.
And you only got 40 yards to go.
Well, Jayton Knight will take the snap in the shotgun. They fake it to J.D. Palmer, then throw on the near side to Jagger Neves. He gets some blocking, and he's going to go down the sideline untouched into the end zone from 39 yards out, and there are no flags. And the Broncos lead it 41-0.
And that was because of downfield blocking by Jake Ivins. And if we see a replay here, we'll see who the other receiver is on this side.
Yeah, good downfield blocking for sure.
But it looks like, just left my camera angle here, but Jake is doing a fantastic job. And number 16, Owen Adams, they don't get credit for the stat of the touchdown, but those two blocking downfield receivers make that play happen. They were engaged the whole time, and that was fantastic. You show your freshman, that's how you block downfield as your receiver.
Well, that, of course, is Jagger Neves' first touchdown catch of the season.
And the PAT is blocked.
PAT is blocked, so 5 of 6 on the night for Trip Palmer now. It's not going to hurt his feelings, I don't think. The Broncos are up 41 with 26 and a half seconds to go. So, 33 and a half seconds after Summit Academy got the ball, San Juan has scored. And that's pretty insane, but...
we talked about it in the pregame. The last couple of games, they've been really sinking, really rolling, really clicking, and you're seeing that in this first half tonight. I mean, there's been a few penalties, but very few mistakes on behalf of the Broncos, and very good decision-making on those players, very good blocking by the line, the receivers, and just doing a fantastic job. And when you can execute in all facets of the game, you're going to be up 41-0 at halftime.
Yeah, the Broncos have looked real good in this first half. Jagger Neves has thrown a 52-yard pass in this game, and now he just caught a 39-yarder for a touchdown. And the Broncos will stop the kick return at the 36-yard line for Summit Academy, who take over with 21 and a half seconds left in the first half, but now down by 5 touchdowns. Actually, it's 6, minus 1 extra point. So 41-0 lead for San Juan. And even if Summit Academy could score now, they'd have to get a 2-point conversion or at least a PAT to stop the running clock from starting to begin the third quarter. So the Broncos in great position here, trying to get one more stop to close out the half.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just run a simple, inside zone run here just to run the clock out, if not even down it.
Yeah, the Bears will be getting the ball to start the third quarter, of course.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they're going to drop back to pass. Whitman in trouble. He's going to be sacked for the first time tonight. Let's get a number on the sack. That's number 6 for San Juan. George McNaughton, who recovered a big fumble in Kanab last week. He gets San Juan's 3rd sack of the season. And that's his first of the year.
And Coach Bowery has been really high on George McNaughton this year. He said, when I talked to him a couple of games ago, I said, who's your breakout player that you're really excited about this year that wasn't really a starter last year, didn't get a lot of time, that's really been explosive in camp and the preseason, the first couple of games. And George McNaughton was the first, just like that. He's really high on George, really thinks he's come a long ways. He's really explosive, really fast, and you see it right there. And then we saw the fumble recovery in Kanab. But just a guy, we don't call his name a lot, and unfortunately we don't always call everyone that's getting in on stuff because we try to call who we notice and who's there quick, and the game goes so fast we can't talk about every kid. But George is one of those kids that done a fantastic job this year at that defensive tackle in position that they play right there in that 3-5.
I think they're trying to get the man who's operating the clock to add some time here, but we'll see. He's now waiting. I don't know that we're clear on the instructions up here. They're just staring at the clock, hoping that some time's going to show up.
Yeah, we had an 11.1.
It does. I can feel the brainwaves over here, man. I know that was a tough one.
It's hard to hear what they're trying to yell at you up here in this booth.
So 2nd down and 14. That was, by the way, Whitman's first run of the night, and then he throws complete into the flat over here, but stepping out of bounds is Lively after a pickup of 7, it would appear. So it's been a while since Whitman has completed one. Just 31 yards now. He is 4 of 13. And a big 3rd and 8 here, but obviously, stepping out of bounds was Lively that time after the catch, so clock is stopped. And so they've got all the time in the world to run this 3rd down play. This may be the final play of the half with San Juan up 41-0. Whitman throws left side on the run. He connects with Lively again, and they're going to get another one as he gets enough yardage to move the chains and then steps out of bounds. That was a 10-yard catch.
2.8 seconds left.
So they'll get one more play.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, it's 4th and 1. I thought he got the first down.
Yeah, I did too.
But they marked him out short.
Well, okay. I guess I have to mark that back. That must have just been a 7-yard catch. That's really bizarre. That's
yeah, I thought it was a first down too, just watching it live.
He must have been farther across than we knew, but yeah. I don't know if that was a lack of awareness on Lively's part or what, but
you only get one play here anyways, 2.8 seconds.
That's
so
true.
Might as well be 4th.
Yeah, you're going for the end zone anyway. So Whitman is in trouble. The Broncos obviously bring the house, and they're going to sack him. This time it's Jake Ivins.
You had
on the sack. So the 4th sack of the night, and that was a loss of, I think, 9 yards.
Yeah, you had Brandon Bethea back there disrupting it, and then you had, I think it was it 62 or 52 in there?
I didn't see it.
One of those big linemen. I want to say 52. I want to say Cooper Palmer, and then Jake's in there to clean it up. But, yeah, all 3 of them in there making that quarterback's life miserable right there in the last 2 seconds of the game.
And I know that was Jake Ivins' first sack of the year, So back-to-back sacks on Cash Whitman, and that's the way the first half ends. And I tell you what, it was all San Juan Broncos in that first half. They lead it 41-0 at halftime. We'll take a break and come back out with some first half stats. We've also got some other scores. And stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is the place for top quality auto body and glass service in the Blanding area. They're now open and operating at their location on North Grayson Parkway. Stop by or give Jackson a call today at 435-485-0069. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
It's halftime here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, Friday Night Lights. We're going to let you watch the cheerleaders and the dance crew do their shows here tonight during halftime. We've had a request to do that, so enjoy that here during halftime.
I'm talking 62 to 125, 125 to 250, 250 to a half a million. Ain't nothing nobody can do with me now. Who?
San Juan cheerleaders.
All right, that was a look at the San Juan cheerleaders here. Again, it's halftime. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. 41-0 in favor of the San Juan Broncos. The hometown Broncos tonight is the, I can't remember what the dance group is called here for San Juan High School.
The Royals.
The Royals are coming out onto the field now.
And I'll tell you, Rhett, you bring your kid to early morning practice through the summer and you know, right when the preseason starts and all down here, and you think the football team just out here working all year round. You see these young ladies all year long out here on this field practicing in early morning, 6 o'clock practices. They put a lot of time and effort into this, cheerleaders and drill.
Yeah, they deserve some credit. We're going to get to see them perform here tonight on the halftime show. That's the discipline of a football team, not jumping offside now as the music quits on them. So.
I don't think I can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in. Leg out.
Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why?
Your San Juan drill team.
All right, that was the Royals, the San Juan drill team, performing at halftime tonight. You also got to see the cheerleaders. Again, it's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, with the San Juan Broncos leading the Summit Academy Bears 41-0 at halftime. We got some stats ready to go here now, so we'll continue the halftime show. And we're going to start with the Summit Academy Bears, and this is not so much a description of their offense as it is San Juan's defense in this game. Cash Whitman, the quarterback, just 5 of 14 tonight for 38 yards and the interception. In the running game, the Bears only running a net 27 yards in that first half of play. That's largely part to the negative 13 yards that Cash Whitman went in those last two plays on those sacks. But Bronson Dixon, their leading runner, has 13 carries, 28 yards. Calvin Lyman, the senior, 4 carries, 12 yards. And the only other guy who really factors in on the stats is Kyle Lively, 22 yards on 4 catches. Bo Edmonds did catch 1 pass as well for 16 yards. So really not a whole lot to speak of as far as Summit Academy's offense in that first half. They were absolutely dominated. For San Juan, Jayton Knight is, I need to count this up. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's 13 of 14, Art. Only 1 incompletion in that first half. It was in the first quarter. So 151 yards for him, 2 touchdown passes. Of course, you got to add Jagger Neves' 52-yard pass in there. So it's 203 yards passing for San Juan in the first half with the 2 TDs. Rushing, they went 134 yards on the ground, 59 of those for Jayton Knight. He's having an outstanding night on the ground. 5 carries, 59 yards. Let's see, we'll just go down the list here. Well, we'll start with Jagger. He's got 2 TDs on the ground tonight. 7 carries, 48 yards for the junior. He also has 43 yards receiving and a touchdown catch. So 3 touchdowns for Jagger Neves, definitely making a play for player of the game here. J.D. Palmer has 1 touchdown on 8 catches, 27 yards. Let's see, that's running. 1 touchdown run on 8 carries, 27 yards on the ground for J.D. Palmer, Then let's see, Javen Montella, I did not tally his yardage. Let's see if I can do it real quick. What is 29 plus 52? I guess that's going to be 81 yards catching for him, receiving for him, I should say. 1 touchdown. He's got 3 catches. It is 2 catches for Branton Bethea, 19 yards. 5 catches for Jake Ivins, 22 yards. And 1 33-yard catch for Owen Adams. I think that's all the stats. We're going to take one more quick break, and we'll come back out here for some scores in football and other sports all around the state, and especially in our local area and our local leagues. Stay with us. It's a 41-0 lead for the San Juan Broncos at halftime here tonight in Blanding. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
The San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. The San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. The San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union.
Utah State University Blanding can help you earn a highly renowned education close to home. With locations in Blanding, Monticello, Montezuma Creek, and Monument Valley, local students can choose from over 100 degrees and programs and dozens of academic scholarships. Plus, get a head start on your degree now. Earn college credits while you're still in high school with concurrent enrollment through Utah State University. For more information and to apply now, visit blanding.usu.edu.
Looking for a new insurance provider? Call Jeff Nielsen at San Juan Insurance in Blanding. For more than a quarter century, Jeff has offered a full range of insurance products: auto, home, life, health, and more. Give him a call today, 435-678-3223, or pay him a visit at 60 North Main Street in Blanding. San Juan Insurance, over 25 years of experience and just getting started.
Let's talk cancer. Monticello, Utah. If you lived, worked, or attended school in Monticello, Utah from 1941 to 2002 for at least 3 years, you might have a higher cancer risk from uranium tailing exposure. Apply to get a free cancer screening today. One screening could bring peace of mind to you, your friends, and family members, help spread the word, and save a life. Screenings are available for a limited time through San Juan Public Health. Call today, 435-587-3838, or visit sanjuanpublichealth.org to apply.
Blue Mountain Foods is Monticello's hometown grocer and a proud supporter of our schools and sports teams. Blue Mountain Foods offers a full-service meat department, fresh deli, bakery, curbside pickup, and more. Check bluemtnfoods.com for weekly specials and online shopping. Blue Mountain Foods is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday at 64 West Center Street. Blue Mountain Foods, Monticello's hometown grocer.
San Juan Building Supply has offered a full range of building supplies to San Juan County for more than 32 years. From the start of your project to the finish, San Juan Building Supply has high-quality products for all your needs, and they can deliver. Drop by 1050 South Main Street in Blanding, call 678-2000, or visit sjvs.com. San Juan Building Supply, a proud sponsor of our local teams.
Welcome back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's Rhett Sifford and Art Adair tonight, as it is all year, every year at these football games. And at halftime, the San Juan Broncos lead it 41-0. So we'll be starting with a running clock here to begin the second half. And we continue the halftime show now. We're going to close it out, really. I think they're probably going to kick it off before we get done talking. But we got some scores from around the leagues and around the area here.
So some 2A scores. Grand County is tied with ALA 21 apiece. South Sevier, who the Broncos will play, is leading North San Pete 21-14. Manti leading Emory 25-7. Richfield leading Delta 27-6. And then Juan Diego, South Summit, Juan Diego leading 21-3. Judge Memorial leading 41-0 over Gunnison Valley. And then Layton Christian's getting worked pretty good by Morgan, 35-0, and that's in the 2A. In the 1A up in Monticello and Dolores are playing tonight. Monticello's homecoming. Monticello currently leads the Bears from Dolores, Colorado, 38-6.
I want to just mention that Grand County score again. Obviously tied at halftime with ALA and coming off a win at Gunnison Valley last week. So looking to string together a couple wins in a row, Grand County. I've got some other scores from other sports as well, and no score updates from Colorado football. I can tell you who's playing. Well, you did mention the Dolores and Monticello score, so that's the only one we've really got that includes a Colorado team. Dove Creek is hosting Rangeley tonight in 8-man Colorado football. Mancus is hosting Sedgwick. Whitehorse was playing at Utah Military Academy Camp Williams, and no score from that game tonight. That's in the Utah 8-man. You may have already mentioned that, Art. I'm sorry if you did. But
I did.
Of course, on the volleyball side, we mentioned the San Juan victory over Duchesne a little bit ago. Another straight sets win for the Lady Broncos. Moves them to 8-0 on the year. But more interestingly, I would say, they have not lost a single set this year. So they are completely undefeated in every way, and moved to 8-0 in the standings. The Whitehorse volleyball team swept Pinnacle tonight, 3-0. I think those are the only, Montezuma Cortez is playing in the Sand Devil Invitational in Page this weekend, and the only score we've gotten today from them was against Veritas Prep. They lost in straight sets, and it was just best of 3 over there in that tournament, so 2-0 against Montezuma Cortez. The Montezuma Cortez softball team is in a tournament as well. They're playing in the Spartan tournament at Berthoud, and they lost a tough one to the Classical Academy 11-2. I know both of those teams will be playing again tomorrow in their respective tournaments. Girls soccer, Grand County, a big win over Emory, 4-3. Let's see, I think that's all the Green River baseball team losing to Bryce Valley today, 12-0. I do believe that's all the scores that we actually have to update. I know there have been other events. For those of you who listen to Red Rock 92, you heard the sports report all day. Just kind of giving you the schedule on that as we get underway now in this second half. The Broncos kicking it away to Summit Academy. And I'm guessing we're going to start seeing some new personnel on both sides of the ball here for the Broncos as we are in a running clock for the remainder of the game unless somehow Summit Academy can pull off a small miracle and get back to within 21 in this game.
It looks like San Juan will come out with their starters here on defense, and typically most teams will do that. You'll come out with your starting crew, let them get a series or two under their belt because really they need that game experience so early in the season. So you'll see that defensively and offensively at San Juan. And then I suspect halfway through this third quarter you'll start seeing some subs.
So Whitman will work from the shotgun for Summit Academy. Throws complete. Boy, I didn't know what that guy was doing with the football. He made the catch over here. It's going to be a gain of 4 on positive yardage here. And Brayson Martin's first touch of the football here tonight, a 4-yard catch.
I don't know if he was bobbling it because he was facing away from us or if he was just anticipating Josiah LaPalmer coming up there and laying the wood to him.
Yeah, I guess when you play San Juan, that's what you expect here in Blanding, and so that could have been the case. Or, yeah, you're right. He may have been trying to corral it. We couldn't see. He was looking away. But it's a 2nd down and 6 for the Bears. Near midfield, they've got the ball at their own 45. That ball is over the head of the intended receiver, who looks like he stands about 4'8" over there.
Yeah, but again, just not the quarterback for Summit has not been crisp tonight. He's overthrown a lot of receivers.
Yeah, not in sync with his receivers, that's for sure. He falls to 6 of 16 on that incompletion, and it's a 3rd down and 6 for the Bears from their own. Looks like they've got the ball actually at the 46-yard line. But again, a running clock, and the Summit Academy offense took a lot of time off the clock in their previous possession marching down the field. And so, I don't know, they may have the ball here for most of this third quarter after it's all said and done. We'll see. Unless they can't get a first down. Whitman rolls out, and he throws almost picked off. Knocked away, ultimately incomplete. We'll try to get a number on that man. See, it looks
31.
like it's 31 for San Juan. So Cole Duke just missed out on his first interception of the season.
Cole Duke breaks up that pass. Brings up 4th down.
And so it'll be a 4th down. I'm guessing anything from here on out should be 4-down territory for Coach Wilbur and the Summit Academy Bears. Actually, Coach Lively, the offensive coordinator, of course, who we talked with at the beginning of this game tonight.
Cooper Palmer subs in here. He's a starter, but they rotate those nose guards out there to keep him fresh, and he's now in here on 4th down. See if they can get a big stop.
So 4th down and 6 for Summit Academy from their own 46.
San Juan's got 5 guys up on the line.
And everybody else is lined up with the linebackers. Nobody's deep. And they'll throw downfield, but that was really nowhere close to any Summit Academy receiver, and so the incompletion will result in a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and that quarterback tried to step into that throw, and I can't see who hit him originally, looking for a replay, but he got popped right in the midsection when he's tried to step into that throw and unable to get that as we watch this replay here on StreamUtah.Live. It's like going to be number 42, I'm going to say. Stetson Black. We'll give him credit for that.
Should get a hurry on that play, is that correct?
Hurry, yep.
And now Jayton Knight will throw on 1st down immediately. Diving over on the far sideline was Javen Montella. He made a touchdown catch like that in the first quarter, but not this time. Incomplete and 2nd and 10. So ball is San Juan took over here on the Summit Academy side of midfield at the 47-yard line. So 2nd down and 10 from there now.
And some people might say, well, why is San Juan still throwing the ball to the house here? Well, you've got to come out after halftime and get your offense going, and that's the offense that San Juan runs. So you can't fault them for that in trying to run their offense.
Yeah, like you said, just trying to run through reps because, yeah, obviously you lose opportunity when the clock is running to get these guys reps. I didn't see if the ball went down, but they got to Jayton Knight there at the line of scrimmage. Not much doing up the middle. I don't know if that was a busted play on the high snap. He definitely looked to the side over here like he wanted to do something with the ball, but then kept it himself. No gain.
I think that was a smart decision on Jayton, just that maturity throughout this first 4 games. A high snap, option play, obviously. Decided I'm going to keep the ball so we don't turn over.
Another high snap. Knight fields it. This time gets the handoff away And J.D. Palmer gets about 3 before he's slung backwards. So this will be a 4th down on San Juan, as they really haven't mustered a lot here on this possession. 4th down and 7 for the Broncos, maybe even 8. That may have only been a 2-yard run for Palmer. Trips left, 1 man wide to the right, and now Knight will pull up and look to the sideline for this play.
You see Jake Ivins over here pleading with his offensive coordinator to call a play that he likes.
Knight has time.
And it will go
and
to
he
Jake.
throws deep, and Jake Ivins is wide open, and he will dive at the last moment down to the 1. It'll be a 1st and goal for San Juan on a 44-yard pass.
And Jake saw the defense. He saw that they were in that zone. They had that inside backer playing a little inside of Jake, playing the run pass right there, that little short range motion. And Jake knew if I could get on an out route here, I'm going to pick up this. And he looks over his offense coordinator, gives him a hand signal, and obviously they trusted Jake on that one.
Well, he had 22 yards receiving to that point. He exactly doubled it on that catch, and now they'll hand it to him to run the ball into the end zone, and that's a rare play. And he gets the handoff and takes in his first rushing touchdown, and possibly only rushing touchdown of the season. It looks like they had spotted him back at the 3-yard line, so that's a 3-yard touchdown run for the rare ball carrier, Jake Ivins. How about that?
I think that's where Coach Christian looked at that last play and thought, man, he was so close to getting the end zone. We're giving that kid 6.
That's pretty good, man. You don't normally see the wide receiver come in to run the football,
Well,
but
you've
there it
seen
is.
that out of Coach Christian over the years. You know, he let Yummy Black run one in his senior year. You know, he's very aware of the kids that are out there working their tails off, and he wants to reward them for that. And the PAT is good by Tripp. I think he's only missed 1 tonight.
He's really gotten in sync as well.
Because the snap was bad.
Yeah, it was blocked. So, yeah, he's 6 of 7, and that makes it 48-0 now with 5:59 to go. And this is one of the rare times the clock does stop, but it'll be running for the majority of the rest of the time here tonight. And the Broncos just continue to put points on the board, man.
And I love that. Going back to what Jake, you know, because I was watching him, and they were in trips left here, and they only had that high coverage. The inside, that outside backer played inside to play the run pass, and Jake recognized that he was uncovered, that they were playing that zone, and that if he just came out and got out on a quick out, you know, just an out and up route, that he'd be open. And just the smarts that these kids play with down here. They see that field. They know exactly what is going to happen, what can happen, and the trust that the coaches put in them for him to look over and say, hey, look, I know this is there, and they let him do it.
Jayton Knight stepped into that kick down inside the Summit Academy 5. They're going to try to return it, but, boy, getting slung down to the turf.
Grady Lacey down there on the tackle.
So Grady Lacey for San Juan, slinging Alexander Meredith mercilessly down to the turf by the back of that jersey, sling him down by the 7.
And you see some underclassmen now. Well, not really underclassmen, but some of those JV players getting in here. Grady had a great game in that JV game earlier today. Now he's out here start on the defense, and he was on that kick return, or that kickoff, and making plays.
So Summit Academy will start from inside their own 20 at the 18 after that stop. And like you say, the Broncos starting to mix it up, get guys in there now. Once you get that offense down the field on that first series in the second half at the running clock, that's the last time I'm sure that we're going to see those guys. Well, I can't be 100% sure, but I'm just going to put my money on we'll probably start to see some JV guys coming in for the remainder of this ball game with the running clock, as Whitman throws left side, and this time he hit his man in the hands, but unable to hang on to that is the intended receiver, number 2.
You got
Grayson Martin, excuse me.
You got J.D. Shumway out there now on the defense. Try to give you fans that may not hear your kid or your relative's name a lot. A little credit here. You got Wrigley Legilia out there now. Of course, Nash Young is out there. Let's see why we're waiting here. They got, of course, Tripp still out there. Oh, you've got Mike and Keith out there playing corner, sophomore.
So a lot of new guys, new fresh blood coming in there. They played tonight in the JV game, like you said, and that was a close ball game. 16-12 was the final in that one. San Juan winning. And I think you're saying, I didn't see the game, but it sounds to me like Summit Academy must have rallied in that one.
Well,
to make it close.
Summit Academy actually took the lead in that second half and held it for quite a while, and San Juan actually had to rally to come back, got a nice pick, and then went down and scored, and just the resilience of the program right there, the JV not getting too emotional when they're down, and because they're not down much, and just able to just needle back into it.
That was a 1-yard run. I didn't see who carried that for Summit Academy. I'm guessing it's the same guy who's in there now, and it's Dixon. And now Whitman, man, it's a cannon arm, but just no chance for the receiver, Bo Edmonds.
Yeah, and Edmonds
is so incomplete again.
A lot taller than the 3 defensive backs back there in coverage, He's a good foot taller than Nash and Grady both. And now Summit Academy is going to cycle out some guys that because they're going to punt here, but they're starting offense on the field. So kudos to the JV Broncos here that didn't allow them to get that first down, because you got a lot of underclassmen out there.
Yeah, so 4th down at their own 19, Summit Academy, and they're calling for another player to come out on the field here now. He comes in late.
When things aren't going right, they're not going right at all.
And they're going to punt it away. The punter is back at his own 5. So, and back deep to receive. I can't see who it is for San Juan. They do just barely get the kickoff.
Cole Duke.
Cole Duke is going to go down to a knee to scoop that up. I guess they say his knee was not down. Now they will whistle him down. And so the Broncos will take over from their own 47. And I'm guessing we're going to start seeing some new guys in, but I do see Trip Palmer entering the ball game.
You got freshman Bo Yeomans at quarterback.
So this is when they start making my brain hurt, and I need to start filling in some spots maybe.
You've got Taryn Bayless, number 37, at tailback out there, and you still have some starting receivers. Taryn Bayless with the handoff around the right side.
So Bayless on the run. He's number what? 37?
37. A new center in there. He's closely related to Jayton Knight, closely as in brother.
There you go.
Easton Knight, the new center in there for the Broncos.
So Taryn Bayless gets the 3 yards on the run. I think I've got enough guys in there I can make do for now. We'll try to catch some numbers. As Yeomans throws to the near side, it's complete, and skipping his way to a 5-yard pickup was number 9 for San Juan, Nash Young. So we've got to get him in on the mix. 5-yard catch and a 5-yard throw that time for Yeomans, who starts the night 1 of 1.
Freshman Big Gage Palmer out there at left tackle.
Yeomans working from the shotgun, as the San Juan offense is known to do, and that pass incomplete on the far side was intended, I think, for Trip Palmer, who's kind of a holdover from the varsity squad in there. He won't let him take him off, I guess.
You got Trey Bass out there on the line. A lot of these JV guys that played a good game, they're now getting some varsity time. But, yeah, Tripp's still out there.
He must have fought the coaches, and he won't let him take him out. They hand off for no gain up the middle here on 4th down. So that's going to turn it over on downs. That was pretty quick. No gain for Taryn Bayless. He has 3 yards on 2 carries in that series as we wind down to 1:15 to go in the 3rd quarter now. Bo Yeomans was 1 of 2 in the passing for 5 yards. And Summit Academy will take over at their own 45-yard line. But again, running clock tonight here in the second half, 48-0 for San Juan.
98, Josh Benally. He's out there now. He's going to be the nose guard. He's going to be flanked by Thomas Harden and Easton Knight, I believe.
And 1st and 10 for Summit Academy as Whitman stays in, throws to the far side. It's going to be caught, and now breaking free for a nice gain over on the far side was number 6. That'll go down inside the San Juan 35. So that's a 10, 20, 22-yard pass from Whitman.
Pushed out of bounds by Wrigley Legillia and Tyrion Lee.
Yeah, so now he's going to start getting some stats.
Oh, yeah, you've got younger guys in there, or even some upperclassmen that don't get a lot of varsity time now. And this is where you start to this is where the stats start to not make sense when you look at the in score.
Right.
So you're like, well, hold it, they had this many many yards, but you got to take into account they're not playing against the starting D.
Yeah, you'd have to watch the actual games. So Bronson Dixon will break one up the middle down to the San Juan 15. That's a pickup of 10 and 20, around 20 yards, I think. Yeah, I'll give him 20 yards on that run. 49 for him all total, so that almost doubles his tally to that point. 1st and 10 for Summit Academy at the San Juan 12. They give to Dixon again, and now he's running hard over some of these JV guys. He's going to pick up 3 right here, maybe 4, and the clock expires on the 3rd quarter. So we need to take a real quick break. We'll come back out to start the 4th quarter. Again, it's a running clock, 48-0 for San Juan, but Summit Academy's on the move. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
San Juan Building Supply has offered a full range of building supplies to San Juan County for more than 32 years. From the start of your project to the finish, San Juan Building Supply has high-quality products for all your needs, and they can deliver. Drop by 1050 South Main Street in Blandine, call 678-2000, or visit sjvs.com. San Juan Building Supply, a proud sponsor of our local teams.
Holiday Construction is your one-stop source for gravel, concrete, excavation services, and custom hauling. We've proudly served San Juan County with quality and dedication for over 40 years. Call Holiday Construction today at 435-678-2028. We're proud supporters of high school sports and our community.
Super busy households need super fast internet, and Emory Telecom has just what you need with this special back-to-school offer. Right now, new customers get their first 4 months of Emory Telecom eFiber internet free. No term contracts, free installation, and equipment. Give us a call right now, 270-4021 in San Juan County, 259-8521 in Moab, or visit EmoryTelecom.com. Emory Telecom, Southeastern Utah's strongest, fastest internet connection.
Back live to San Juan High School. We welcome you back in. Just underway in the 4th quarter now with a running clock. 48-0 for San Juan. And as we began, quarterback for Summit Academy, Cash Whitman, throwing an incomplete pass.
You know, and the thing here is, for people who aren't watching this on the stream, San Juan still got their underclassmen team in here. They got a lot of freshmen out there and sophomores. And Summit Academy still running their starting offense because they obviously want to have some success. And kudos to Coach Bowery and Coach Christensen for letting these younger guys, hey, you get the stop.
Yeah.
Not going to bail you out with the varsity.
Whitman looked to tuck it up and run for the first time tonight, but instead he'll pull up and throw into the end zone. That'll be a 9-yard touchdown pass as they finally get into the end zone here on the San Juan JV. So they march down the field fairly easily, starting about midfield. And catching it was Bo Edmonds, the junior. 9-yard touchdown catch for him. And I'm not sure that I'm going to be mentioning Summit Academy stats tonight during the close of this game. We'll probably just focus on San Juan. I'm diligently adding in my head, though, as I speak. Cash Whitman moves to 8 of 23 on the night for 73 yards with that touchdown pass. And most of those have come now against the San Juan JV here in this last series. He'll throw into the end zone to try a 2-point conversion, and that was well underthrown and incomplete. Little mix-up with his receiver going in there who would have been wide open, but unsuccessful, so it's going to stay 48-6. 10:03 left in this game now, and it's going to be 10:03 actual time once the Broncos take possession here. So depending on what the JV offense can do, they may have the ball for the remainder of the game. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight by Creative Floors, covering all of San Juan County's carpet and flooring needs. Crowley Construction, dirt, roads, driveways, and more. For any job, big or small, call Crowley Construction. Dependable Auto Repair, Brad Stoddard and his crew get the job done. Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Napa Motor Parts, get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality, customized products. Primary Residential Mortgage. With 30 years of know-how, they'll structure the best deal for you. And also tonight, San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. We do want to send a big thanks to all the sponsors tonight. And we will get you all by name during the close tonight one final time as Summit Academy attempts the onside kick, but it goes right into the hands of Trip Palmer over there. That guy is like a ball magnet, man. I don't know wherever he is on the field, he's going to step out. He's going to appear out of nowhere and have the ball in his mitts.
And for some reason, the officials had him put almost 16 seconds back on the clock, 17 seconds. We started 10:20 left on the clock, so not sure why we added time in a running clock, but.
Well, and San Juan will go to the ground on first down, and carrying the football is, I believe, number 37, Taryn Bayless. I think we hear the clock operator in here taking full responsibility for that malfeasance on the clock.
Oh, no, he was right when he shouldn't have ran it, and everybody else wanted to run, and that's why he put time back on.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Hey, you don't mess with the clock operator. They know what they're doing.
Okay, I can't hear. I don't know what I'm doing over here, but
he's diligent in his job.
Second down for San Juan after no gain. I thought Bayless made some yardage there, but apparently not. And it'll be second down and 10. San Juan at their own 43, almost 44-yard line. Yeomans will not hand off. He fakes it, keeps it himself, tried to go off left tackle, but no dice over there.
Yeah, there
maybe a yard.
4 Bears in that scrum. They sniffed that out right off the get-go.
You appropriately call that a scrum, Mr. Adair. That's a rugby play. It's a big crowd in there.
And Trip Palmer, he's still out there. He's like, Coach, throw me the ball.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of run here. I doubt they may let Bo throw a little quick one here, but I doubt they're going to do much throwing.
The coaches think they have someone on the field, but Tripp has actually thrown that kid into the crowd over there on the far sideline so he can stay on the field.
And as I say that, they drop back to throw, but we're going to get a penalty flag, going to be a holding.
Yeah, it would have been a sack maybe. It's going to be a hold instead on San Juan. Summit Academy is going to mark it back. If I'm Summit Academy, I decline the penalty, take the sack, and because you're going to lose time right here.
Yeah.
San Juan's going to get to keep taking time off the clock.
I agree. I decline this.
But I think they're going to take the penalty. No, they are going to decline it. All right.
Fourth
so
down.
They make the call that I actually would have made, which is a miracle.
Yeah, you're getting better.
If you say it, that's something, But so it should be a fourth down and long here on the sack. So, yeah, there's a sack on the play. It doesn't come back up to the line of scrimmage, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to figure it out there, Art. Meanwhile, the clock operators just be running time off the clock. We could get out of here early, see if they don't catch it.
They're going to spot it correctly. They get the sack. The holding call wasn't called, so they still get the sack. They just don't get the penalty from the sack. Because it would have pushed it back another, 10 yards for the hold.
That was a loss of 8 on the play.
And so we'll see now if Coach Christensen decides that his freshman quarterback here is good enough to pooch kick it, or if they're just going to try to take some time off. But this is, man, they may take a timeout. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to let the clock run down now that's running. They're going to run it all the way down, take a timeout, and then we'll see if they put their varsity semi-pro punt team in there because they don't get a lot of punts.
Semi-pro punt team, you say?
I say that because it's the quarterback squib kick.
Yeah, that's right. It works well. They don't have to use it very often, as we.
So they take it down to 8 minutes here and call a timeout.
That was a joke. I don't know if you remember Coach, was it Coach Willard in the Grantsville interview before the game? He said, the only thing we don't know is what San Juan's punt team is like.
That's right. He has scouted them for the last few years where they didn't punt much.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it worked out for those guys, that's for sure. It's too bad the Broncos won't have an opportunity to rematch Grantsville at the end of the game. That'd be one you'd want to see.
Yeah,
I know they're embroiled in some sort of a shootout tonight. I could check some updates we're getting from the Mid-Utah guys. They send so many texts during this game. I know Juab ran an 85-yard touchdown, then Grantsville responded with an 81-yard touchdown, and it's tied 14-all in that game. So that's a bit of a barn burner going on. And, yeah, a lot of scores throughout the state. Beaver is smoking Duchesne 48-7 in the fourth quarter.
So like Grand County's losing by a touchdown now to ALA.
Well, we're trying to finish it out here. Look at the quarterback. Yeoman's airing it out to Trip Palmer, but it's just overthrown. Look at this kid. Yeoman's with the arm in the air. Let's figure that out. That was, let's see, 10, 20, 30. That's about 35, 40 yards in the air. And just overthrown to the 8-foot-tall Trip Palmer here on the near side. So the incompletion results in a turnover on downs. But so an interesting play call, and now Summit Academy will get the ball on San Juan, in San Juan territory, I should say, at their own 37, actually. And it looks like the Broncos are going to continue with the underclassmen. Those kids all look like they're about 3 feet tall out there. And I tell you, look at Summit Academy are way taller than San Juan's JV guys out there.
He has put back in George McNaughton out there. So he's got a couple of guys, but not many. They're mainly the guys that played in that last game.
He's telling them to go out there and do some battle. And now Whitman will step up as the pocket collapses. He slips a tackle, and he looks like will run for about 10 yards over on the far sideline.
Derek White able to run him down from behind.
Well, good coverage downfield for San Juan. It looks like Juab and Grantsville now tied 21 all in that game. So that is a shootout. We're just getting a score through the window here. So we'll report as we get it. And second down, looks like they gave Whitman 9 yards on that scamper. That's only his third carry of the game. That gets him back up to -4 yards net.
And if you're Summit Academy, you can't blame them here for leaving their varsity on the field. They need to get some reps. They need to get some work. They need to have some success because they didn't have much against the varsity team. And so building on next week, going into next week as a coach, you want to do this right here and build up.
And Whitman connects with Lively down to the 10 here on what will be, I can't see, that was from the 29 or thereabouts.
To the 10, yep.
So that's going to be an 18, I'll say an 18-yard pitch and catch to number 18, Kyle Lively. And, yeah, that gives him 40 yards on the night. The quarterback now up to 91 and is 9 of 24. Again, most of these completions and yardage have come against the San Juan JV here late in this game in a running clock scenario. Down to 6:10 to go in the ball game now. Clock is running. The San Juan JV offense hasn't been able to muster a lot. Now this one goes right through the hands of the intended receiver, number 7. We've called his name a couple times tonight. And Alexander Meredith, he's mainly been on the return team, but gets an opportunity here, and maybe we see why he doesn't normally play receiver.
And that was actually one of the better passes that
it was right to
the
him.
Quarterback has thrown. It was right in his chest.
At the goal line.
Yeah, and just unable to secure that in the breadbasket.
Clock continues, down under 5:40 now in this ball game, and a 48-6 lead for San Juan. The varsity stopped playing at the 48-0 mark, and now the JV is going to get an interception. And instead of downing it in the end zone, I guess he will run east to west here, and it'll be a touchback on the pick from Nash Young. His first interception of the season, I think I can safely say.
A little excited there. He probably should have just went down.
A little crazy.
Took a knee and
got a little crazy. The crowd, all the parents up here going, no.
You know, you play a little too much Madden and you try to run it out every time. And sometimes it works and most time it doesn't right there.
Wowzers.
You just got to have a talk with that young man and say, hey, you down that ball, we'll take it on the 20.
That's a real good way to die on the 1 yard line, son.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So, well, they thought they were about to score, did Summit Academy on the San Juan JV. Nash Young says, no, thank you. And he registers the second interception of the night for San Juan. I don't think that's how I thought that series was going to end, Art.
Yeah, no, me neither.
And so, yeah, a little miscue again from Whitman, and that doesn't bode well for Summit Academy as Bayless again takes the handoff, but not a whole lot. In fact, he loses a yard on that carry.
Yeah, poor kid kind of running for his life. That unexperienced, underaged, line out there, not really sealing those ends on those outside runs. And so that Bayless is out there trying to escape tackles right about the time he takes the handoff.
Second down and long now for San Juan, 2nd and 11 from inside their own. I wish they had the yard markers on the far side over there. Well, they do, but boy, they're tough to see. They're inside their own 20 is where they are. And then Bayless again, not much, maybe three.
He's going to come a little gimpy too, holding his left shoulder, left arm.
Well, he's got 5 yards on 5 carries now. It's been hard work with this JV front, like you said. So
yeah, he is grimacing. He's not feeling good.
That's actually a pickup of 5. I'm going to give him a little benefit of the doubt there. 7 yards total for him. And we'll see if he looks like he's going to continue. Not much time left. We're down under 4 minutes now of running actual time left in this ball game. A 48-6 lead for San Juan. And stepping back to pass is Yeomans, and he bombs one down the sideline, just out of the reach.
We're going to get a holding or a PI here.
Cole Duke was the intended receiver. How about that for a blast from the pass, Cole Young?
We're going to, your real time just got extended here, Rhett, by the stoppage of the penalty.
You're right, we get the penalty.
Pass interference is the call.
And
that'll be a first down.
That's no shock. So yeah, the San Juan JV is going to get a fresh set of downs here. Might be able to run this thing out. A lot of times we've seen obviously Coach Christensen when it gets down to within the time that they can actually run the clock out, they'll start going into victory formation. But for the time being, these JV kids out there getting an opportunity to run some plays on the Summit Academy defense. It looks like Summit Academy may have some younger guys in now as well. Maybe in the secondary, not sure. Yeomans will hand off to Bayless. Flags fly in the middle. And if the play stands, it's going to be about a 4-yard carry, I think, but I'm guessing it'll be a hold. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if
stops the clock again.
I'm not sure. I guess if you're Summit Academy, you'd go ahead and take it here. But that's just going to go further to letting San Juan run the clock entirely out here as they'll replay first down, even though it moves them back 10 yards. So it'll be second down and somewhere around 20, it looks like. Yeah, exactly 20 where they spotted it. So foul must have happened at the line of scrimmage.
Again, remind you, if you haven't gotten your votes in for player of the game, we're going to do that here like in a minute and 20 live time.
Yeah, we haven't even announced that contest. So we're continuing that, and I wondered if that was going on. So that'll be for what, tickets next week? Tickets at next week's game? I'm not sure. Are we doing that?
StreamUtah.Live.
We're looking in for guidance here.
If not, if you just want to guess and play to see if who you think the player of the game is versus who we think the player of the game is.
Well, boy, that's a late announcement. For those of you who are still riveted to the stream here tonight or on the radio, send in your vote on the YouTube Picture It Palmer YouTube page.
You're going to have to be quick about it because we're going to do that in like a minute.
Yeah, and I guess we probably ought to take a break and discuss that. We'll have to figure that. And I think maybe we figured it out.
I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, there's 3 or 4 kids that on any given night could get this, but there's one that's had a fantastic night on both sides of the ball. So.
Yeah, and I don't know, our problem throughout the season is obviously going to be repeat offenders in the player of the game. But I mean, I guess that's how it goes when you got your senior leaders and same guys stepping up throughout the season.
Got stoppage out there again.
I don't know what they're doing now. It's second down now and long. So I didn't even see what happened on that last play. I know I'm really kind of not even going to consider the JV stats tonight when I report stats, if I get an opportunity to do that. We're in the final 2 minutes of this with a running clock. San Juan up 48-6.
And they're just going to use all the clock here until they get the 5 count. And just to remind people, our player of the game previously week 2 player of the game.
Yeah, we can.
Rhett calls this play here.
Well, they're going to go up the middle. I didn't see. Was that a handoff?
I think Bo Yeomans just kept it.
Okay.
Ran up the middle.
Middle.
And if you're watching on StreamUtah.Live, you'll see our players of the game. Week 2 player of the game was Branton Bethea. Week 3, we had co-players of the game, Trip Palmer and J.D. Palmer.
So we're about.
Go ahead, Rhett. Tell us who our player of the game is.
We can go ahead and officially announce then. I guess I don't know if anybody's entered the contest tonight. Pretty late call on it, but Jagger Neves is the man tonight who had a great game, and he was all over the place. Had 2 touchdowns. Maybe I can just call it for him. He had 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 on the ground, one through the air. He threw a 52-yard pass on a halfback pass as well. And so Jagger Neves is our player of the game tonight. We'll obviously have some final stats at the end of the game for all these guys, including him. But Jagger Neves is the player of the game tonight for the San Juan Broncos in this one. And the varsity team, of course, stretched the lead to 48-0 before they departed, and the JV crew has been in for most of the second half now. And for a running clock, this one hasn't had a whole lot of pace. We're down to 1:44 left in the game at this point, though. San Juan does have a 3rd down and long, though, 3rd and 20+. They've got it at 22 on the scoreboard as Yeoman rolls out, throws to save his own life, I think, out of bounds over here, incomplete. So that will bring up a 4th down and very long now. It shouldn't stop the clock, though.
They're going to stop the clock. Timeout, Summit Academy.
Okay, so Summit Academy wants to get the ball back and try to get that touchdown they feel that they missed there the last time when we got an interception. As yeah, it's kind of tough to keep track of some of these stats now, but number 9 for San Juan getting the interception. Cash Young, I think it is. Nash Young, excuse me. We got Cashes, we got Nashes. I guess, you know, for a season it was all the Brayson, the Kaysen, the Jason, Rayson, Facin guys, and now we got Cash and Nash, and I don't know who else we're going to get, Art. It's been tough for me to keep track of over all the years.
I'm not going to name any more kids, so that's going to be up to you.
Okay.
Maybe your next one could be named Bash or Rash.
Rash. That'd be a good one. That would be a good one. That'd go with the first letter in my name. So, yeah, I'll get in touch with Abby. See what she thinks about that. Hey, Yeomans is going to execute the pooch, the short quarterback punt. The quick punt, I should say, and man, that thing's going to roll all the way down inside the Summit Academy 30. What a punt by Bo Yeomans there. We have to figure out the net punt yardage on that deal.
He's booted a few in the JV games, in the C-team games. He quarterbacks the C-team and the JV, and he's had a few, and he's actually a pretty good little punter back there.
Well, obviously, they hope to not use him very much in that facility, but they needed it here with facing a 4th down and a country mile. So he gets them out of trouble right here, and now they're going to force Summit Academy to go 70 yards if they want to actually put points on the board against this San Juan JVD. Let's see if the Bears finally bring in a new group on offense.
It doesn't look like it. 13's still out there.
Yeah, okay, so Whitman is still out. I did see the receivers I recognize. So, yeah, they're still going with the starting O.
And you can't fault them for that. They haven't had a very good game. They've got to give these kids some success on the field, and even if it is against a JV team.
And they're going to immediately break it for 15, 16 yards right here as Lyman carries it ahead. And, again, I'm not really going to consider these stats tonight, although they will factor into the official stats against San Juan on the season. But I'm probably not even going to mention Summit Academy in the post game tonight simply because of the way the game went. But 1st and 10 for them at their own 45 nonetheless. And Whitman throws complete. Boy, that was quite a reversal there. And getting another 15 yards on the catch is number 6. I never did put his name down on my sheet, but that's Braden Dieters. Gets 15 yards.
Colduke able to corral him and bring him down.
That puts Whitman over 100 yards passing now. 106 to be exact.
Another timeout by Summit Academy with 38.6 seconds left in the game.
So they're going to possibly start taking some shots downfield here.
Well, is that their second timeout this half? Is that their third? So they're out of timeouts. That's their 3rd timeout.
Okay. So, yeah, this will be the last time they can stop the clock with a timeout. But, again, we've been under running clock rules since the start of this second half. And the Broncos were up 41-0 at halftime. Added a touchdown and a PA and an extra point, in the third quarter, early in the third quarter. And since then, it's been all JV for the Broncos and a running clock. And were you wanting to say something about a...
No, just subbing kids in. I was trying to give our clock operator over here, the proud dad of 2 San Juan Broncos.
There you go.
His youngest son back out there on the D-line.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Summit Academy in San Juan territory once again. The Summit Academy varsity working on the San Juan JV here late in this game. Throwing on the move. We get flags in the backfield, and now more flags in the backfield for Summit Academy. So it's likely this thing's coming back. But
that's that courtesy flag.
Yeah.
You see, I'm serious. You see one ref throws a flag, and the other one's going to throw it no matter whether he saw it or not, because that way the appearance is, I don't want to give away secrets here, trade secrets, but that we both saw it.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's just, yeah, I'll throw a flag over there to help you out.
There you go.
Can you get a holding call?
They are a team. Sometimes they have to try to get out of places with their lives as well, so we got to feel for those guys. They got to unify, man. It's a battlefield out there. One of the guys got taken out in both games, so we know that. He got run over by a couple different players tonight.
Going to go home and sleep well tonight.
Yeah, wake up a little bit sore tomorrow. As Whitman throws left side, it's complete. And trying to break the tackle over here was Lively. He's not able to. He is going to get back 6 of those penalty yards. But they're running down. That's I don't know if they can stop the clock anymore.
I don't know why they're trying to stop it unless because the ball's not set. Yeah, now it's running.
So it'll run. So I don't know if they'll even be able to get this play off. They're not in any kind of urgency here.
Mike and Keith on the tackle there for the Broncos that last play.
That's going to do it. Time expires. They didn't get that play off. So the final play was a 6-yard pass to Kyle Lively. It's a 48-6 final here tonight. And we're going to go down and try to get Coach Christensen and also our MVP of this ball game tonight, Jagger Neve, see if we can get an interview up here. And it's a 48-6 win for the San Juan Broncos, who moved to 3-1 on the season. We'll take a break and come back up here to start the post-game show. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
we are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural healthcare, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit sanjuanhealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
Welcome back live to San Juan High School. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as we've got an earthquake going on here in Blanding tonight. We welcome you back as a 48-6 final. And San Juan on top tonight. Obviously, the varsity team took care of business tonight, led 48-0 before the JV came on to close out the game in a running clock scenario. And that's when Summit Academy started to make some yardage and started to get some points. So until then, it was an absolute domination by San Juan. I'm going to take a look at the final stats, and we're just going to include the varsity team tonight and just look at San Juan here this evening as we close it out. We're going to go with Jayton Knight starting off. He was 14 of 16 tonight. Pretty impressive night, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got to add in the 52-yard pass from Jagger Neves, who, of course, is the most valuable player here tonight, and he's going to take me out with his helmet and come in here, get an interview with me here in just a minute. But continuing on, let's see. J.D. Palmer tonight carried the ball 9 times for 30 yards and a TD. Jagger Neves, who we already mentioned, 7 carries tonight. This is all unofficial, by the way, but 48 yards running tonight for him, 2 touchdowns. He also caught the ball 3 times, 43 yards and a TD receiving tonight. Let's see, among the other receivers, Jake Ivins had 6 catches, 66 yards. Javen Montella caught the early touchdown tonight on a diving effort, and he had 3 catches for 81 yards all total. Branton Bethea, 19 yards on a couple catches. Owen Adams had a 33-yard catch. I don't think I mentioned Jayton Knight ran the ball tonight for 59 yards on 6 carries. The Broncos ended up among the varsity guys tonight, 271 yards roughly rushing, 3 touchdowns, and again the 247 varsity passing yards tonight for 2 TDs. And I'm joined now by our MVP of the ball game, Jagger Neves. Jagger, good to visit with you. You're going to get a Red Rock 92 FM hat, also StreamUtah.Live hat tonight. So take your pick. You got a red one and a gray one.
All right.
But dude, you were all over the place tonight, man. The 3 touchdowns. How do you feel tonight after this win?
I feel great.
Tell me about what you're thinking while you're on the field. Tell me about those touchdowns tonight.
I just wanted to score just every time I get the ball.
You guys are just hungry when you're out there.
Yeah.
Well, this step up type of leadership that we see from you guys and the guys we talked to last week, this is what the team needs. I mean, I know the Grantsville loss to start the year has really stuck in your guys' craw. It really made you a different team. You guys are starting to look like yourselves now as you play these last 3 games.
Yeah, I think that loss really did something to us.
I'm sorry, what was it exactly that it did for you guys, do you think?
It's made us more hungry, I guess, just to win more games.
And that's what's shown here, I think, on the field for you guys. What are you thinking? So you run that halfback pass over here and you heave it downfield. Is that something that's in the normal playbook? Is that something that's special for you guys? Is that something we expect to see more of, or how about that play?
Yeah, that's one of our best plays. I don't know why we don't run it as much. But
I don't know why they don't give me a chance to throw it downfield more. Well, you would come in if for some reason Jayton had to come out. You would play backup quarterback for the varsity team, correct?
Yeah.
So you have to know. You guys have to know every single play for multiple positions.
Yep.
And so just to see you guys execute, I mean, you guys played so well in that ball game tonight, basically from start to finish. I know you didn't get to play the complete game tonight, but, I mean, just your feelings about how this team is looking, how you guys feel now as you're getting close to the midway point of the regular season. What are your thoughts about this team and the way you guys feel going ahead?
Just got to keep balling out, stay hungry.
All right. Jagger Neves had a big night tonight. Again, 48 yards rushing for you, 2 rushing touchdowns, taking care of business, strong running. I mean, is that what it is for you guys when you're down close to the end zone? And I heard you say the buzzword hungry. Is that what it is for you when you get down there? There's just no stopping you guys from scoring.
Yeah.
And how much credit do you give for the guys blocking for you in front of you?
All of the credit.
All the credit, and so without them, you can't get into the end zone.
For sure.
That's right, or make that 52-yard pass.
Yeah.
You caught a big one tonight, too, the 39-yard pass reception for the touchdown. Pretty impressive game for you tonight, Jagger. Congratulations, man. Player of the game. Really good win for you guys.
Thank you.
And you don't have to go very far. You get to stay at home and play another game at home.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right. So what will you guys be doing tonight? What happens after the game?
Pancakes at Tyrion's house.
Okay. Well, that sounds fun. All right, Jagger, thanks for chatting with us, man. MVP of the game tonight. Get yourself a hat. Congratulations. I don't know. We'll probably end up seeing you up here again as MVP at some time, sometime before the season's over. Congratulations, man.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's Jagger Neves visiting with us. I think we've got Coach Christensen waiting in line as well as we get set to visit with him on the post game. And again, the San Juan Broncos winning it tonight 48-6, but basically 48-0 tonight realistically was the score. And Coach, thanks for sitting in with us. And boy, I mean, we said it at the beginning of the game. We said it at the end of the game last week. You guys are just really starting to click. I mean, as far as your 4 games this year, this really was nearly a perfect effort in the first half and all the way until your varsity left the game.
Yeah. You know, I knew what this team was capable of. I think you know, there's still the scary thing about this team is if you watch the film last week, and I'm sure if we watch this film, they have great effort. That's why I'm so proud of this team is, like, you can't coach effort, and they give 100% every game. Their mistakes, there's still a lot of mistakes, but I can coach those. It's the effort. So the scary thing about these guys is they're still, I told them on Monday in our team meeting, I said, we're only playing at 60% efficiency right now. Like, we're making dumb mistakes that are covered up just because dudes are flying all over the place and they're giving perfect effort. But that's what's so scary about this team is the effort's great, but they're fixing these little mistakes and they're just getting better and better and better. I'm sure there's still a lot tonight that we can fix.
I know you guys are perfectionists, so I know you'll go to work on that. But tell me about the atmosphere on the sideline while the game is going on. What are the things being said? What's the feeling on the sideline while you guys are playing in a game?
This one was just kind of to business. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of being said with adjustments and things that we can do. This one was just keep it going. I mean, we're killing them here, we're killing them there, just keep it going.
It was interesting to me. You almost seemed more serious than normal before the game. I don't know what that was exactly. You're just more subdued, it seemed. That's why I asked you if you were pumped, if you guys were excited about this game. You just seemed all business, like you said, and it was just kind of a calm demeanor. And I know normally you're super excited, like you live for football. So I just wondered what it was like down there. And I mean, yeah, it's you guys are really just starting to execute. And I know you talk about some of the things that you guys will work on. I know you want to be perfect. You want to be. We haven't mentioned the peaking word yet. I know you guys want to be peaking in the playoffs, and you guys are working toward that.
Yeah, and like I said, man, there's still little things that are just being covered up by effort, and like you can't coach that. And I don't think I've ever had a team where 22 dudes every time on offense, defense are just giving full effort. Like, they are flying around. So if you make a mistake like that, I can live with it. Now we'll just correct it.
I don't know what's going on with Trip Palmer, but it's almost like he's a magnet for the football. I mean, obviously over here on the interception, which was a huge play, reminded us of last week's interception. I mean, he just appeared, and then on the onside kick try over there, somehow he ends up with the ball. He just will appear out of nowhere and be there with the football. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's someone that, you know, all week in practice we knew that little play was coming, and we had him jumping it, and he was excited. He asked Bowering before the game, am I still allowed to jump that play? And Bobby's like, what are you talking about? He did it. Like, he's one of those guys that's just a gamer. Ball's in the air, he's going to go get it.
And we saw multiple times tonight your guys just knowing what the Summit Academy defense is doing, just knowing the reads, just being smart, like what you would call students of the game, I think. Are all your guys like that? Do you push for all your guys to be that way? But we see Jake over here just looking to the sideline saying, you know, Coach, I'm going to be open, go to me, and then you hit him on that big play. And it just seems like your guys are able to have what we would call smarts about the game and know what's happening at all times on the field.
Yeah, and they're getting even smarter is the thing. Like Jake's obviously more seasoned, but tonight we had a sophomore offensive lineman make his first start. I'll have to watch but they're helping each other grow, and like what's scary is, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, is that there's still so much to learn and so much to grow with them. Like there's going to be little things, like I feel like we had 2 touchdowns we left out earlier in drives. We still scored on those drives, but just missed reads. And it's so frustrating to watch that because it's there, it's open, and we got 2 yards, and we ended up scoring later in the drive. But then we came back to one of those plays down here right before the half on Jagger just leaking out. We ran that earlier in the game. It was a touchdown. Maybe it's a good thing we set it up because we had that right before the half. We hit it too. But so there's still things we're missing, little reads we're missing, but they play so hard that it makes up for it.
And then there's always a good reason why one guy is going to be your quarterback. One guy is going to be the leader who just leads the team. And we saw Jayton, kind of struggle, I think, maybe with the nervousness and those things that we talked about in Grantsville. But he just continues to get better, continues to make the smart decision. We see it on numerous occasions tonight when maybe a pass wasn't there, and he makes the smart play to tuck it up and get some yardage instead of just throwing it into trouble.
Yeah, his calmness has been that's been huge. Is Grantsville, we got to a point where he was like begging me to tell him where to throw the ball, just because he was so panicked and hurried. And this week he had the best week of practice I've ever seen out of him from summer on, and he's just calm and he's understanding what we're trying to do a little bit more. And yeah, now he's just taking off. He looked really good tonight. I'm pumped for him.
Is there anything else that I haven't asked that you might want to let the viewers and the listeners know about your team and about where you guys are headed?
Just shout out to again everybody on our team, the scout guys that don't get a lot of love. Some of them got in here at the end. But guys that are just going hard in practice, making these starters better, that are giving us the looks that Summit Academy is giving us, that next week will give us. They're playing as Judge, they're playing as Summit, and they have to adapt to their offense, and they're playing hard, and they're going hard, and they're making our starters better. And then shout out to the offensive line as well. Without them, you're not going anywhere. So big shout out to those guys, Cash Palmer, Cooper Palmer, Cutler Baker, Remy Watcott, and Trey Bradford tonight. Opening holes and giving Jayton a ton of time to make things happen. So shout out to scout team and our offensive line, and then defense is awesome too. So shout out to the D, and then obviously offense did their thing. So just super proud of everybody tonight.
Yeah, and Coach, shout out to you as well, and shout out to your coaches. And I was talking with someone this afternoon just talking about you and how you coach and how you don't just see the kids as players or as students, but you identify it with them as people, before that. You identify with them as young men, and you feed into their life, you give into their life. And I think it's a big thing, and I think, they obviously feel that. I know that they feel that camaraderie with you guys as coaches, and I think that's part of what we see on the field too. So shout out to you as well, and your coaching staff. And you guys obviously are doing the right things. I mean, the consistent results that you guys get show that, And it's fun to call your guys. I mean, sometimes it's not fun to call blowout games a lot of times, And this is the first one where you did what you did all year last year, where it's an entire second half running clock. And I know that's not great for getting your varsity team reps, but it just goes to show the consistent success that you guys put on the field against the teams that you play. And I know you want to play the biggest teams and the best teams that you can, who will, offer up portions of their schedule to play you. So congratulations to you guys. I know it's a long way to go. It's not near about over. I know you would say the same thing. And I know there's a lot of work to be done, and you guys are willing to do the work, and I know you're going to put that in. So it gets funner and funner to watch you guys every week.
Oh, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate all the support, and we'll close out the preseason hopefully in a big way against Judge, and hopefully this thing just keeps rolling. All
right, Coach, we appreciate you visiting with us. Big win. It's a good thing you guys get to stay home this week, and it's a small miracle, back-to-back home games. We don't know what to do with ourselves, man.
I know. I'm nervous about scheduling next year already. So,
all right, Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
That's Coach Barkley Christensen of the San Juan Broncos. His team winning easily tonight. Again, the varsity team racked up a 48-0 lead before the JV came in, and Summit Academy started making it look not as much of a huge blowout as it was. We did get all the stats in. I think I don't know if Art is still up here, if he wants to step in with some final thoughts. we're not necessarily the smart guys. Smells like we've had an animal friend come around here and spray something in the air, I think. But we're going to try to close out the game without passing out. And, yeah, Art, I don't know what else to say about this team and the consistency that these guys bring and the quality that they put on the field and just the quality that they're coaching with, the strength training that we talk about, the speed training, all the stuff that you don't get to see. Coach Christensen shouts out all his behind-the-scenes guys tonight, and it's tough. You'd have to spend 45 minutes here naming all these guys by names, all the people involved to make what we see, the few, the 11 guys who make it happen on the field at a time and make it entertaining to watch and bring state championships to this town.
Yeah, I think San Juan right now, they're rolling. They're in a good position. They're by no means peaking right now. There's still some little things. They're still getting some penalties here and there they can clean up. But overall, I think from week 1 to week 4 now, they're, where they want to be. You can see that those guys that have stepped into some of those starting roles that guys had for 2 years here on this team, quarterback, running back, center, lineman, that the guys that have stepped in this year, even as seniors, that they are starting to progress, and they're quickly progressing. It's not taking them to week 8 or week 9. We're seeing Jayton see the field a lot clearer, making a lot better decisions. We're seeing running backs hit the hole harder, one cutting and get north and south to get positive yards. So that's all I can say is they're coming along at a nice pace. They're doing well. I know that Coach Christensen, Bobby Bowering will get in there Monday on film and they'll clean up some of the little things. But overall, I thought tonight was a fantastic effort out of everyone on that team. You saw a sophomore lineman get out there and give some quality minutes because the senior Brad Scow's hurt. And so kudos to the Broncos. Great win for them and a great win to roll into next week.
Yeah, next week it'll be Judge Memorial coming in here to Blanding. Again, back-to-back home games. I don't know what we're going to do with ourselves, Art, but it's been a tough start for Judge Memorial. They were 0-3 coming into tonight. I don't have a score. They were hosting Gunnison Valley tonight on that beautiful field that we got to see last year. But, boy, it's been a bit of a struggle for Judge Memorial. So they'll obviously be looking to stop the San Juan Bronco juggernaut when they come in. But the Broncos just looking to take care of business again next week when they come out here.
And I don't know this for a fact, but what I've heard through the grapevine is Judge does have a few players that are on that new UHSA transfer portal waiting pool, so they cannot play until week 7, after week 6, I believe it is. So I think come the playoffs, that'll be a whole different team in Judge Memorial. And so I don't know what we'll see when they show up here for San Juan. I don't know if those guys can play week 6 or after week 6. I'm not sure on how that rule works, but I do know there's some transfers there that have transferred into Judge Memorial. So it may be a total different team
in the playoffs. Yeah. Okay, so we'll see what happens next week. Obviously, the Broncos, that's their mantra. That's how they function. They show up every game, regardless of who they're going to play. They show up prepared. They show up ready to go, so we don't expect anything less. I think that'll pretty much do it for us tonight. Again, a 48-6 official final, but it could have easily been 48-0 tonight, or even worse if the Bronco varsity had stayed out on the field. I want to say thanks to everybody involved tonight, all the sponsors, and we'll get you one final time during the close here momentarily. I want to say thanks to the StreamUtah.Live guys tonight, Caleb Carr, Lane Palmer. I know Cortland Lyman was in here as well. I don't know who else was involved, but thanks to all those guys on the video. Again, those are all the behind-the-scenes fellows as well, making it happen. Thanks to all the listeners and the viewers tonight. I know it was a bit rough on the radio to start tonight, so thanks for staying with us if you did so. Hopefully most of you just tuned in late and didn't have to deal with all that. That'll do it for us here tonight. Again, it's Judge Memorial next Friday right here on the San Juan High School football field. Until then, on behalf of Art Adair, it's Rhett Sifford saying so long. Have a great rest of your weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Bradford Tire, San Juan Building Supply, Blue Mountain Foods, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Colleen K, San Juan School District Adult Education, Primary Residential Mortgage, Energy Fuels, Emory Telcom, Four Corners Homes, San Juan Pharmacy, Utah State University Blanding, Creative Floors, San Juan Counseling, Holiday Construction, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Red's Ace Hardware, San Juan Health, Four Corners Regional Care Center, Northern Electric, Dependable Auto Repair, San Juan Insurance, Precision Rehab, Red Mechanical, Flights Gymnastics, San Juan School District CTE programs, Blue Mountain Hospital, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Tailor-Made Monuments, San Juan Public Health, Crowley Construction, Jones and DeMille Engineering, San Juan Mortuary, Napa Motor Parts, Utah Navajo Health System, San Juan Credit Union, and Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.